going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Game and Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned into episode 197. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. If you're watching on Apple or Spotify, please rate the show 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and then the hype button. When you hit the hype button, the show will appear on YouTube's new hype charts, which helps bring in new viewers for the world's best weekly gaming podcast. Follow the podcast on social media if that's your thing too. We drop content over there. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, and everything in between. Our handles on most places is at GI Updates. The exception being Facebook. Our Facebook is facebook.com/GI podcast. Links to all our social media platforms will be in the description box below at youtube.com/GI Updates. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which was the slowest person to arrive to the recording, but fast enough to beat a storm. Ethos, say what up to the people.
What up? I'm a little disappointed. I think you could have done a little bit better this week with that intro.
I woke up. I just woke up from a nap, so
yeah, I could tell. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. We'll do better next week.
I had a long day. And my second co-host was gifted Twitter Premium this week, so expect her to get into more arguments than JG with all the extra visibility. Miss 5,000 watts. Say what up to the people.
I'm thinking of tweeting out stuff about Sony every other day, and I think that will get me to a pretty big paycheck. So get excited.
Are you saying that the Sony ponies spend more time in the Twitter spaces than actually playing games?
They get very angry on Twitter if you say even something that's not negative, but it's not overwhelming praise. So
Sony is our savior.
Sony's our savior. Don't pay my bills.
Yeah. Hint of sarcasm there. And last but not least is the man who's openly celebrating Brazil's demise on the timeline to Norway. So I'm sure he'll get into even more arguments than Watts with the soccer fans. UTX World Cup the Don. Say what up to the people.
First of all, I wanted to shout out to Cape Verde. Very first World Cup, man. That was a match between Argentina. Actually had them on the heels, man. Like, if y'all didn't see that match, if you don't watch any other World Cup match, watch that one. That was pure cinema right there. Shout out to Cape Verde. Had a lot of heart. And shout out to the goalie, man. Like he's an overnight celebrity. Seriously, he's an overnight celebrity.
Make you a celebrity overnight, kind of.
Yeah, make you a celebrity overnight.
I've seen a lot of men on social media saying they're going to visit Cape Verde for the summer.
Yeah, I seen some. We show some propaganda there. See some women. They said, "Come to Cape Verde." They said, "All right." I didn't even know what Cape Verde was. I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, "Okay, all right." I see.
I knew about it before the World Cup. It's in Africa. What's the name?
Yeah, on the outskirts of Africa. Yeah, it's far west. It's an island. Yeah, so I was like, okay. So yeah, man, shout out to them. But it's been some real good football. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow with the good old US of A, but Canada's out of here. So
Canada's out.
Canada's out. So we only got us and Mexico
squad
left.
Is gone. Now it's just the squad.
That being said, let's get into the show. No new games that came out since last week. But before we get into the news, which by the way, just gonna go ahead and preface this and let everybody know it's gonna be a very negative week. I tried to find positive things, but like the industry's in a fall right now. It's in a free fall. Before we get into that, I think Watts had some and Ethos had some Nintendo Switch 2 propaganda for us. I don't know what that means, but go ahead and you break it down. What's going on with you in that Switch 2?
Okay, so I was clickbaiting a little bit. I had a stream that said something like Sony or PlayStation made me buy a Switch 2. I have had a Switch 2 for basically since the beginning. The story is that we kind of thought that it might be as scary to get one as the original PS5 launch and all that stuff. So we just ended up ordering and we ended up getting 2 instead of 1. So I ended up keeping it. Because I figured I'm going to be playing Dustblood soon. It was a Dustbloods machine sitting in a box. But Sony pissed me off enough for me to say, you know what? I'm opening this box and I'm hooking up my Switch 2. So I got it sitting next to me. It's all set up to go to the stream PC. It's plugged in. It's got my 8-bit DOE adapter so I can use my DualSense Edge controller on it. And I'm feeling pretty good. But it wasn't just that, though. There's also like previews came out for Splatoon Raiders. It's looking really good. Pure PvE Splatoon. You can play solo. You can play co-op. It looks very interesting. So I also pre-ordered the physical copy of that from Best Buy, which I'm going to get day one because of Sony as well.
A lot of emphasis on that physical, the way you said that.
Physical. I was thinking of getting it anyway, but yeah, Sony kind of nudged me in the direction of getting it physically and picking it up at Best Buy. And there's also the Dust Bloods network test is supposedly happening eventually this summer and also coming out. We've got Orbitals coming out, Fire Emblem, the new Zelda. There's a couple things I'm interested in now. So I'm happy to have it hooked up and ready to go.
How you getting to that Dust Bloods beta?
I don't know.
Oh, you just
they just said that trailer that was like nothing in it. They said there's going to be a network test this summer. And they said stay tuned to their socials for information about it. So
is Bandai Namco still publishing that or no? Or
I don't think so for this one. I think this one maybe no. So I don't know if I'll get in actually. So that would suck. That would make me feel real sad. Be real sad about it. But also with Switch 2, like Nintendo's done, I think, one thing that I would see as like a positive thing, which is their digital versions of games are a little bit cheaper than their physical copies, which makes sense in my head because you're not printing the cover, you're not having to make the cartridge, so that makes sense to me. But besides that, they've done nothing, but the industry around them has made Nintendo and the Switch be like the best thing that you can get right now. It's $500 compared to like $700, $900, $1,000+ They have physical copies available. They have pretty much every game is coming out there now, which is nice. You got the portability. Yeah, like Nintendo has, they're kind of in a spot to do really well. And in my stream, I've seen people saying like, I'm not getting a PS6. We'll talk about that later in more detail, but I'm going to be like PC and Switch, which I've never seen before.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would hold it back for some people is what I was saying earlier before we even started recording. I just wish Nintendo would have put more power under the hood. I think I think what you're saying is still a maybe just because it is still underpowered. But if they would have made it comparable to the PS5, just like the base version, I do think that like Sony and Xbox would be in a lot of trouble with the business moves that they've been making. But right now, I still think it's a 50-50. They're going to need some more killer apps, I think. They're going to need some more killer. But it's only $500 at Costco. I was tempted this week. I was tempted this week to get it.
They have an opportunity. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh, yeah, I looked up real quick. Dust Bloods is actually owned by From Software outright. And Nintendo would just be handling the global publishing. So
FromSoft don't know who I am. So I'm probably not going to.
Y'all think Nintendo will give them a proper push now that we know From Software 100% owns it?
I would hope so, but I don't know. It's Nintendo. It's not their title that they own. So
15 minutes ahead of time, they'll let us know a direct's happening for Dust Blood.
Because I think it's kind of weird that they're doing a beta and we don't know how it's going to work. This game's supposed to come out this year. We still don't know when it's going to come out. And it's just the way EA did Titanfall too. It's like when we see a company that owns a big IP, but they do have a publisher, like sometimes they just don't fully support it. And I would hate for that to happen.
Does Nintendo even do betas? Like, I don't even recall like any games.
They do. The Monster. I remember playing Monster Hunter Rise demo on Switch, the original Switch. Because Monster Hunter, it was exclusive to Switch at that point. Monster Hunter Rise, and they always do demos. So I don't know if you could do like, because Capcom does demos and everything. So I don't know if there's going to be other demos. Yeah, it is Capcom probably being like, you have to.
Capcom have been pretty good on the demos, especially this year. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. Switch 2 conversation out of the way. Let's get into the news. And friendly reminder, it's about to be mad negative. The big story of the week is Sony has announced via their official blog that they are ceasing all production of physical media on January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. So January 2028, no more Blu-ray versions of video games releasing. And this sent the internet into a whirlwind. especially because, the rising prices of everything between, all technology because of these AI data centers and stuff like that, which there might be more to that story too. There might be a third component. I have a story on that as well, just evil shit going on. But yeah, January 2028, which is sooner than it's soon. It's not too far away. All discs will cease production, which means it's safe to assume the PlayStation 6 will be a discless digital platform. This is problematic because Sony will have complete control. Because I've seen some people say that, PC, it's digital only. Yeah, but on PC, we don't pay for the online. You also have multiple stores. You got the Epic Game Store, you got Steam, you got GOG, you got Humble Bundle, and a bunch of others in between. So there's competition. With Sony, they own the ecosystem, so they have complete control, which means the prices on stuff is not going to drop. Also, you just don't own the games anymore, and everything else in between. You got the floor on this one, Watts. How are we feeling about the 2028 cease of production on physical media for the PlayStation?
Oh, I'm feeling real bad. Feeling real bad and vindictive is what I'm feeling. So the reason that this is a big deal, one, Sony broke this news to us very shortly after removing over 500 digital movies that people had purchased. 500. People didn't rent them. They purchased them. They owned them. And now they cannot access them anymore. And you're not getting refunds. It's not being replaced. It's just, oh, well, good luck. Bye. And then they also announced the closing of the PS Vita and the PS3 digital stores. So they're announcing this move that you're going to only be able to access digital from their storefront at the same time that they're doing the exact thing that makes us go, well, this is why I don't like this. So that's one of the things, is that we are not going to own anything. We own something as long as Sony wants to keep it around. As soon as Sony does not want to keep it around, we do not own it anymore, and there's nothing you can do about it. Another reason that I really don't like it is that it puts the PlayStation Store as just the place that you buy PlayStation games. So I was talking about this on stream, and I was saying that so many of us grew up with not a ton of money. And a lot of us ended up being gamers because we were able to go to secondhand gaming stores and buy a game for $4, $5. And we were able to play that and become someone who loves video games because we had access to those secondhand games. This is going to create a ecosystem now where you can only get it from the PlayStation Store. I doubt they're going to have many sales, which is a problem with Nintendo because they never put their stuff on sale. So you're never going to have kids growing up now that are able to go to a store and their parents are like, I can't afford to get you an $80 video game, but we can afford something that's like $30. They're not going to exist because it's only going to be digitally. And I highly, highly doubt that Sony is going to put massive sales on their storefront. So that's completely dead as well. You have no way to share the games with your friends. You have a terrible refund policy with Sony as well. Like if you get a game and it doesn't work or you don't like it for whatever reason, even if you've only played 2 minutes of the game, you can't get a refund. The way that Sony treats it is if you open it, you're stuck with it. That's it forever, unless there's like a massive controversy like Cyberpunk. So I think Sony would need to do a lot to change if they are sticking with this digital only, which I think they are. And I'm super not happy about it. And like you said at the beginning, TBH, people bring up like PC and but everyone was like PC Master Race and that's all digital. But as you said, the difference is you have options on PC. If you are someone who really cares about DRM free, like actually owning the file on your computer, no matter what happens, you can only buy games from GOG. And that can be something that you choose to do. If you want to have free games constantly, you can do the Epic Game Store and you're going to get free games every single week. And that could be something that's really important to you. We have so many different options.
I also just recently learned there are certain games on Steam that are DRM free that you can download the files and you can still play them without Steam.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't even know that.
Yep. So it's you have so many options as someone who has a PC. You have operating systems, like you can be on Linux, you could be on Windows. You can choose which storefront you want to support based on your own personal needs and wants as a consumer. And that's ultimately what it boils down to, is that it's anti-consumer because you're taking away choices from people. And I don't like that.
KG, you're leaning, looking real devious. But what's going on in that brain of yours?
Yeah, this was very, very sad to hear. I think what disappoints me more than the actual announcement of physical games going away by Sony in 2028 were the people who just seemingly did not care, and those people really lost the plot. They truly lost the plot, and I was disappointed because it was some of my peers as well.
Wait, Jay, is he sound robotic to y'all?
Yeah.
I just don't want you to go on a rant. Restart Signal real quick.
It worked for me. Yeah. Give it a restart.
Yeah, we're just going to let you start over. I'll just edit it. I gave it a second because I wanted to see if it cleared, but then I'm like, all right, it's still going.
Hello, mic check.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. I don't know why it's been happening. Please don't. Signal, you better not be pulling the Discord. Okay.
Wait for Watch to come back just so that like the
cool.
The scene doesn't change.
Yeah, I knew. My bad. I didn't have that window up.
What's the name? All right, whenever you're ready, because like after I say Jay, you sitting devious, I'm gonna just edit to you. Just start over.
Cool. All right. So yeah, it's been very sad to hear this news this week, and I think what disappointed me more than the news about Sony saying that they weren't going to be producing any physical discs after 2028 were the people who seemingly just didn't care about it. And I really want people to understand why like this is very important. People truly lost the plot on why people care about this and why this will affect you whether you buy physical games still or not. I told a lot of people that since 2013 when I really got into PC gaming and made that my main platform, I've been buying digital only, and rightfully so. Steam is there, and then obviously you have the other storefronts, but I will still buy physical games for my Xbox 360 and then the PS3 at the time. It was around the PS4 Xbox One era where I kind of stopped, and the main reason was because of how the physical disc interact with your system now, because and really at that point there was seemingly less of a reason to buy a physical game because now the games weren't reading and writing off of the disc anymore. Now, when you inserted a disc, you still had to download the game and patches of day one updates or whatever on your actual console. So just the fact that entire way that we play games change, I was like, it's really no point. The midnight releases ended. Like the last midnight release I went to go get was GTA 5 on the PS3. So it was a very long, so over 13 years ago. So that was pretty much gone. Console started to slowly allow you to preload as well. Obviously, we've been preloading on Steam for a minute, but now you could do that on your PS4. I don't know so much about the Xbox, but I think you could do on there too. But on the PS4, you could, and subsequently the PS5. So now you could do that. And I was like, well, I'm not going to wait another day to go to GameStop or go wherever just to get the game where I could just download it and be able to play it at midnight. So it was a convenience for me. But JP brought up a good point. He said that a lot of these companies have been conditioning us to get digital, and they may have already started thinking about how the ecosystem will be further down the line, and now we're here. And I wouldn't say that it's our fault, but I will say that the convenience alone really drove a lot of people, especially on console, to start getting things digitally. And that's why a lot of people were like, oh, the 80-90% of people, they're getting digitally now. It's because, again, we were mainly conditioned to do that. I only really saw the true value of a physical game on console was if you're like getting a collector's edition, but I want something tangible, outside of the game itself. If you're going to eliminate that, I still need something tangible. And that's the true reason, outside of what Watts already mentioned, because at any point Sony could be like, F it, your game is gone. If they decide not to pay someone for licenses, which is exactly what happened with the movies, all right, bye-bye. Like, what can you do about it? But at the end of the day, for the people who still get things physical, people were saying, oh, in the last couple of generations, you still don't own the game, but people still want something physical that they can hold in their hand. I've seen so many people over the last week show their game collection. They just been showing their shelves, and that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing to see. That people like care. They want to collect things. Like TBH, you and Ace always, y'all still collect physical games. You have your collection stuff back there. So like that stuff is important to people. People still want to feel something physically in their hands, and they want to be able to store it somewhere for the future, regardless of whether the game still interacts the same as it did in previous generations. So again, I want people to understand that even if you don't buy anything physical anymore, as I typically don't, it is still super important, because you need to understand that now all these corporations will have full control over what you consume, and at any point in time they can just delete it. You do not own anything, and you keep saying it, like we're literally entering the you do not own anything era, and you will be happy about it. So just this entire industry is going to be shaken up by this. I think about the third world countries that have crappy internet still in 2026.
JG,
they have no
that's
internet.
insensitive. They use the term developing countries now.
Do they? Developing.
And all of Australia.
Yeah, developing countries. All right, you're still developing. Sorry about
And a lot of America.
Just trying to keep you from getting canceled. I was told about it because I said it around my girl one time. She's like, "You can't say that." I was like, "My bad, I didn't know."
That's what they called him back in the day. We are becoming the old people that say an insensitive word, and people are like, "Whoa, we can't say that anymore."
Yeah, apologize if anybody's offended about that. All right, developing countries, right? So there are still countries that have to get things physical because their internet will not allow you to download a 50 gig, 100 gig game anymore. It's going to take forever to do it.
Can I add on to that too? It's not even just necessarily about the developing countries. Also, you got to keep in mind certain countries tariff certain products. Like I know down in Brazil, PC gaming is bigger because I think they tariff like Japan or something like that. So it's harder to get a PlayStation because it's like $1,000. But before we were paying $1,000 for the PS5, they were already doing that. So that's why PC gaming is big.
Politics.
So like when they do get that platform, they like they want to own the disc basically. It's hard to get this stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I think about them. So they're going to be in a bad situation if you still win the game. I think about the retailers now. Like, just imagine, back in the day, we went into the GameStops, we went into the Targets and stuff. Like, you still see those sections with games behind the game case and the consoles and the stations that you can play the games. How is it going to look like now if you're still going to try to maintain that same inventory in a Target, in any mom and pop shop, when you're just going to have the case and you have to explain to somebody, hey, you're just getting the case. Like, I want to come in and get this game. Oh, no, it's not physical anymore. Yeah, but forget the disc. What is the disc? We're not doing disc anymore. Hey, you want the code? And I'll be like, why did I come here? Like, I don't want the case. Like, I want the physical game. And you just like, oh, I'm just give you a download code. You still got to go home and download the game. Like, that just does not make sense anymore. You came here, you want to spend your hard-earned money. So, like, I worry about the retailers and how they're going to navigate this as well, because it's not just going to be Sony. Let's keep it a buck. It's not just going to be Sony. Xbox already said that they might do the same thing as well. Like, these new consoles, we don't know what they're going to truly look like, but the rumors are they're going to be discless. So we're just going to have to buckle up, because no one will be happy about this. If you truly care about everyone other than yourself and how you consume your media now, I have digital only, but even still, I care about this. Like, I care so much that I'm most likely, even though I'm trying to get the game for free, I'm going to get that Onimusha as well, okay? I'm going to get that physical Onimusha. I feel like I got to do it off a general principle now. It's one of my favorite franchises. I'm going to get it. It's going to be somewhere, but I'm going to purchase it. So
I'm going to get it on the Switch too. Physical Switch too Onimusha.
Yeah. So I got to do it. But yeah, I just want people to just understand and not try to speak from a selfish standpoint. I want you to truly think about the overall impact that it's going to have on you, regardless of whether you still purchase physical or not.
On you.
You got to emphasize it, man, because they don't understand.
You always got to make sure to put it to them. The way I collect games now is like, just for the sake of like spacing, because when you become an adult, like and you're moving around, it can be hard to move stuff around. So I get that aspect. So the way that I collect games now is like I only buy discs for games that like I genuinely love. Like I beat Expedition 33 on the Game Pass, and like I felt guilty after playing that shit. But also I love the game so much, I was like, I want a hard copy, so I bought it for the PS5. So like I don't buy everything physical, but like games that are like, oh, this needs to be in the collection, I still buy it. And the reason being is it was like a couple of years ago. No, it was like a year ago. I read an article for Spotify. So I had already been thinking about, because I also collect records for those unaware. I had already been thinking about it for years for buying a record player. It was either that or a CD player, because like I just wanted to own music. And what got me into it and lit me fire into my ass is I read an article that Spotify has never been profitable. And when I read that, I said, what the fuck? And then I had already knew Spotify already doesn't pay artists, and they're not profitable. So in my head, I'm like, at any point, for those unaware, I don't know about Apple Music, but at any point, Spotify could collapse tomorrow. And I had to ask myself the question. I said, if Spotify collapses tomorrow, because like JG said, we've been conditioned to use these online platforms. What do I have to listen? And the answer was nothing. And I was like, I like music. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a record player. Do I buy every record? No. But I mainly collect like the classics. And it has to do with, because I was like, yo, these corporations have too much freaking control. And I would just like to present an idea. This is going back to the gaming. What if tomorrow Sony collapses? Like, let's say like the day after the PS6 comes out, how will you have access to your games? Like, I don't personally want to live in that world where we don't have access to things. And some people are like, oh, no, anybody can collapse. I remember when fucking Circuit City was around, bro. Think about or Sports Authority. Think about all the stores and the IPs. Yeah. I never would have guessed Toys R Us would have collapsed when I was a kid, bro. We used to love going there. So like, I want the audience to think about all the IPs and the stores that used to exist when you were a kid, and they don't anymore. Anything could happen. And yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of this, because I just think they have too much control. I think it would lessen the blow if I felt like Sony operates in good faith. Steam fucks up sometimes, but I do feel like for the most part, Steam operates in good faith, and that's why they're able to get away with a lot of things. But we know Sony ain't doing no sales. They're going to do the same thing as fucking Nintendo. Everything going to be $70, $80. They never dropping the price on anything. And I just can't wrap my brain around why some people would be okay with that, like just having less control over your product and giving it to them. But I'm rambling. Ethos.
I'm really glad that you brought up the music example, because we are so conditioned to stream music and listen to everything digitally, but we still have the option of buying vinyls, of buying CDs. We stream movies, we stream TV shows. We still have the option of buying movies. This is removing the option, period. It's not just like Sony first party games are going to be, discless. It's all games on PlayStation, period, which is insane to me, because you have companies like Lost in Cult, where their whole thing is like getting indie games their own physical version and physical disc, and putting a lot of love and care into that. And that's all gone.
Yeah, huge emphasis on options.
I had to ask myself, I said, do I want to live in a world without Bobby Brown? Don't be cruel. I don't want that. So I bought
this guy. Looked it up real quick before we move on to Ethos. Spotify actually started to be profitable in 2024. So I want y'all to think about that. And Apple Music has been profitable as well, posting like $10 billion of profit per year. So that's crazy. So the 2024 for Spotify to actually
it took them that
get a bit of profit. Yeah.
Crazy.
And what do you know what's the profit margin on that article?
In 2024, it said $1 billion.
But no, what's the profit margin? Like, I know they generated $1 billion. What's the percentage though?
I would have to look at that because I would look at that
because that matters too. Because it's like if you generate 1% profit, you could tell your shareholders you're profitable. How profitable were you? Are you on the edge, or are you getting buku money?
Yeah, I'll look at that and see.
But that might be the article that I was. So it was 2 years ago that I was reading that. Okay. Yeah. Ethos, how you feeling?
I'm tired, boss. I see this every single week. I'm tired. Yesterday, I had this really good conversation with my brother. He finally got a gaming PC. I helped him go to Micro Center.
Not the OVO Miles?
Yeah, we went to the Holy Land. I just got a shock today because I checked Steam and it said my brother just bought Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm like, there's hope for. He's a ball and gun gamer, so there's hope for him. Yeah, there's hope for
OVO Miles. Okay,
yeah,
BG3. Okay,
yeah, there's hope for him. Yeah, because I didn't tell him anything. I told him to get Cyberpunk first. So for him to go get BG3 also, I was like, whoa, what the hell? Who told you this? I didn't tell you this. I didn't think that was the type of. I didn't think that was a game you'd be into. But we had this conversation because we went to the Holy Land, the Micro Center, paid homage to the overpriced computers and decided we had to buy a pre-owned because, good Lord, building your PC is just insane right now. But then after that, we went to the mall nearby and we had this, my brother brought up to me, he said, you know what, I feel like we didn't know what we had. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we were walking around the mall or whatever. And he's like, you remember when the mall used to be popping when when you were younger and stuff, you go over there, so much stuff. It's like, look at it now. It's just like empty. It's like so much stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man. I slid in the capitalism slander when I could, but I was like, that's just that's just the capitalism, baby. But he's like, we used to have so much stuff. And I'm just seeing it like as we get older, I'm just watching it slowly deteriorate and disappear. Like it's not all happening all at once. I think that's the thing with Sony's is like the reason why people are very so mad right now. And made me think of this is because it's happening like very abruptly. But it's what I feel like everyone said here is that it feels like we've been conditioned. We've been like frogs in the water. They've been, lighting it up, but they've been slowly burning, boiling us in the water over time. Where we weren't complaining, but it was a little chip here, it was a little chip there. It was, going online, live service, playing these games for, games that, could play forever to, Game Pass and all these like all these things all played a role in conditioning us into these different aspects. I do agree with the idea that their choice always has to remain king. And I'm sorry, you are a punk ass bitch if you're gonna sit here and be like it's not a big deal, or that it's not, or y'all need to just suck it up. I'm sorry, you are not on our team. You are a corporate bootlicker, and you need to get to licking them boots and shining them up for them. You are not on our side. I don't want to ever hear you say that you care about gaming. You're not. You're a fraud. And that's and you got a problem with it. You come see me. I seriously do not believe we are in a world anymore that I think, which I think a lot of people aren't even considering. We're watching this new generation of kids grow up into a world with gaming that is nowhere near what we grew up with. And I'm scared also for this idea of like, I think all of our situations, we all grew up. I think like we all grew up in situations where it's like, I didn't always have the latest and greatest. I speak for myself. I didn't have the latest and greatest. People had PS2s. Guess what? My parents got me a Nintendo 64. Or PlayStation 1 was hot. My parents got me a Sega Genesis.
I'll testify for you. Like, I hate GameStop, but I will say as a kid, that little $5, $10 bin
saved my life.
It did save me.
Bargain bin, man. The bargain bin.
It'd be bullshit in there, and I would get it just something to play, right?
And you'd be able to look at the box art and go, "Oh, this looks kind of interesting," and you'd buy it. I would go shopping with my mom,
let me add something to that.
A secondhand game.
I think if we live in an only digital world where PlayStation controls everything, I think it's gonna make it to where people are going to become drones of the kind of how we become drones of the algorithm, like the YouTube algorithm or these music algorithms. People's taste, like if we thought ball and gun gamers was bad now, it's going to get even worse because the store is going to dictate what they play and it's going to keep them in an ecosystem versus if you go to the store, like there's something about, I really enjoy going to the record store and just looking at the artwork and turning it around and like, it's an experience. Even the way like you listen to a record, you have to sit there and you have to focus on the music versus having all like these distractions, and some of that was in the game store. You take that away,
100%.
I do think it is going to, not everybody, because some people are critical thinkers, but there are a lot of zombies out here. I think they're going to become even more zombified. Not only is the price never going to go down, but also their tastes are never going to evolve, and I think that's bad for art as a whole.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Like I'm in the TCG space. That's the big thing the TCG space deals with right now. Is just this idea of like, oh, no one cares anymore. This is a perfect comparison. No one cares anymore because, there's a digital client, right? But the digital client, you don't own any of the cards. You're buying fake cards. You don't own any of it. You can't trade the cards. Like, boom, here's Magic. Here's Noctis from Magic the Gathering. I own this. This is mine. It is a physical Magic the Gathering card. I can go into a shop. I can go to friends. We can trade them. I can go to JG. Give me that Bruce Banner Hulk comic card. I can make that trade with him. Digitally, I can't do none of that. There's no capability of us doing that anymore. Granted, like certain like Magic tried to do something with an online sort of like a ticket system where like, oh, you buy these tickets, and then the tickets would equate value to the cards, and then you could like technically like trade in your cards for the tickets to get different cards. That was like the closest we've gotten for like a digital type of middle ground. But at the end of the day, this is something like what you said. We love, like when I grew up, this is something I love. I can physically touch these cards. I own this. I own this deck. I can play it, you know, and there's the social aspect. I go out and I meet other human beings and I play with them and I see them face to face. And that's gone. Like if you're in the digital world, we don't even see each other anymore. We're already talking about the implications of how the internet has just ruined a generation where like the level of empathy is at an all-time low, especially now. Empathy is at an all-time low. People can't socialize. People lack social skills nowadays because, you know, they're in these video games, even in social spaces in the video games. They don't communicate. They don't really see people. Everyone's an antagonist to them. There's no face to the name anymore. Everyone is this like dark, you know, mysterious actor with a question, you know, Mr. Like a question mark as a face. Like there's no personal like identity anymore with like, you know, who we are as people. And you know, it's kind of sad because I feel like when I grew up, and what TBH was saying too, we bring the story up all the time. My favorite game of all time happened the same way as TBH was Mass Effect. Coincidentally, we both discovered that game the exact same way. It was in the bargain bin. It was a $10 bargain bin. And I was I think it was like a freshman in high school who had no money. I go to GameStop, I look at the bargain bin, I say, oh, I like sci-fi. This looks cool. I don't know what it's about. I'm gonna try it out. The internet existed at this point, but it wasn't like widespread. Like the only way you get news is like either you had that Game Informer, and that was like the way you'd be locked in, or like you had word of mouth. Now, nowadays, we do still have like that word of mouth, but kind of what TBH said, a lot of the word of mouth is now being dictated by algorithm. You're not really like naturally discovering stuff. And I think when you get rid of these storefronts and you get rid of Steam, like, well, Steam has a storefront, right? And you're leaving it to PlayStation, a lot of it's going to be algorithm fed to you. Steam is algorithm based fed to you. The discovery, everything, it's all algorithm based. I can tell you from a developer side too, the way that your game gets seen, it's all a bunch of algorithms. It's about the way people are looking at your stores, or people are wish listing it. This all plays into how people are going to see it. There's no genuine like going out for yourself and searching it. And that's why there's this gap of, our generation, which feels like we play a bunch of different types of games, because when we were broke, we got the demo disc. And that was the way that I discovered a multitude of genres of games that I normally would have never known about, was because that demo disc had 7 different games that were 7 different genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like to SSX, like it just sold like a crazy like mixture, like a mixtape. Mixtapes are gone. That's such a cool, unique thing. I think that was just part of our generation. That's just like it's now you have playlists like that. That's what it is. Now you have like that digital playlist experience. So things do evolve and they change. But at the end of the day, it is about having that ability to have the option. I have Elden Ring on PC. Why the fuck did I buy this? I have Elden Ring on PS5. Why?
Same.
I didn't even play it. Why? I don't even remember when I bought it.
I need it in my collection. That's all.
It's one of my favorite games of all time. I just wanted to have the PS5 version. This ain't going to exist in the future. Like, we don't even have this anymore.
We went from full on maps to just having like a little insert to having literally nothing.
Yeah. I found my old Legends of Legaia PS1 copy from way back in the day. That boy got a 2 big, thick manual. Yeah. It got a bunch of additional information. It's gone now. You don't even have that. You got codes now to get like the OST and stuff like that. I remember, I'll give you another example. I bought the physical of, this is going to be a deep cut. A lot of people don't know about this. The anime Psycho Pass is one of my favorite anime of all time. Okay. So Psycho Pass has a PS4 game, a visual novel game called Mandatory Happiness. A lot of people didn't know this game exists. I bought it, the physical version of it. The physical version came with a soundtrack that's physically on a disc. Banger. I was like, this stuff is gone now. Like, you guys are just accepting and say, okay, it's gone. I'm thinking of even the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that everything's gone, everything's digital. And then what happened with vinyl and other retro stuff gets kicked into overdrive, meaning now all prices go up extremely high for anything retro. And even if a company, or let's say a developer, decides on making a limited time physical edition of a game just to have it or own it, that price, the scalpers just kill it. They just say, oh, it's a limited amount type of thing. We're going to scalp it to death. And now you can't really own even your physical stuff, and you're being priced out. We're in a day and age where when I was younger, life was broke. We all grew up in the 2008 recession. Y'all know what time that was. That was Little Caesars, saving the day, all this sort of stuff. That type of era was when those bargain bin games worked the best for us. When you go into this type of age where now we're getting rid of that capability and there's no market spaces and no marketplaces and no diversity in that, and being able to trade a game with your friend. I can't remember how many times when I was in high school, my friend would be like, I'll give you a good example. When I was in high school, these are rated M games. When I was in high school, I couldn't afford, what was it? Mirror's Edge. I wanted to play that, but I couldn't afford it at the time. My friend handed me Mirror's Edge, and I gave him a copy of my Gears of War 1, and we would just play it off of each other. Okay, I'll play your Gears. Oh, I need my Gears back, or I'll play Halo. And we would just alternate games in and out of school, like at the end of school. Be like, all right, here, you got the game? Yeah, I beat it. Try it out, see if you like it. That was the way we used to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're losing that. And a lot of y'all, and the real shame is shame on all of you that grew up in that era like us. Any gamer who is, I'd say 20. If you're like 22 or 20, like if you're
especially
at least
with
like,
this conversation of gaming being inaccessible, like you don't.
Yes, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you are even 30 years old and older, and you're on here on your Twitter talking about this shit don't matter. Y'all just being extra. It's not a big deal. Y'all just complaining just to complain. We not gonna boycott GTA. Y'all just gonna be like, all y'all, you guys are the problem. We've been saying for the years, you know what? I remember something that we said when we were younger. We kept saying, people would say, remember when we would criticize people about playing certain games or buying certain things? And what was the number one thing people would say against us? They would say, why are you telling me what I can do with money in my wallet? And the argument we kept saying was your purchasing decisions is a signal to the corporations to tell them what you care about. Your money does a lot more. Your money is not just what your own personal enjoyment is. We are seeing it happen in real time where it has caused a snowball to go down a hill that has resulted in that. And for people to say like, well, you bought a digital game. Yes, I can buy a digital game and still advocate for physical games. I don't need to buy every single game that's physical. I bought JG. I'll give you an example. It's about just the convenience at the time. When JG was telling me about Judgment, I only do because I was just walking by a random GameStop and I saw Judgment was on sale for $10 and I went in and bought it. I could have gone home and got it, but it was just because I was in the area. I saw it. It was the option that was available for me at the time and I got it. But now you got all this other BS. Now that's going to be gone. And maybe there's a pro. Maybe we don't ever have to see GameStop anymore. Maybe if that's the pro, I don't think it's worth it. Even if we get to slander GameStop of them disappearing, I don't think it's worth this sort of trade-off. So I'm done.
And I think it's also just really sad. You know, there's a lot of things that we've brought up of like why it's not a good idea to do this in general. But it's also, it makes me genuinely sad that kids are not going to have the experience of like going shopping with their mom and their mom's like, okay, we're going to stop by this store and you can pick out a game that's like $20 or less. And they get to like read the back of the box and open up the manual. Yeah. They get to like look at everything on the way home and get excited about it. And then they put the disc in, and that is a part of joy of gaming. Like that was a really big part. So you could say, oh, it doesn't matter because like, you know, we can just download it now and I get it right away. But I think that's also a sad side of society in general. We always want to just do something so fast. Everything's got to be fast, immediate. When there is a joy in actually physically experiencing something, being excited for it, having the patience on the way home, getting all like excited to play it. That is a happy, joyous human thing. And I think just that alone is worth keeping around.
I just had a thought too. I feel like with giving Sony full control with the digital games, my gut tells me they're going to finesse us on the hard drives. When that PlayStation 6 comes out, I would not be shocked because remember, keep in mind, these games are getting bigger every year. If the hard drive is not bigger than a terabyte, it might even be less. It might be 500 gigabytes. And then what they're going to do is they're going to try to sell you some proprietary bullshit. Because now that they have full control with the disc, now that they have full control, they can make proprietary hard drives. We won't be able to do the third party thing like that. And
they did that.
Mark them up.
The Vita did that.
Yeah, the Vita did that. Yeah, that's right. They have a history of doing that. They can do it with the PlayStation 6. I just had that thought with like the digital situation, but
with like the disk drive and stuff. We've just seen Xbox literally get rid of their 2 terabyte version Xbox because it's too expensive. to charge. This is only going to get worse. So what are we going to be looking at? Like 512 gig PS6 that can hold like 2 Call of Duties. And you have to download every single time.
Constantly
your friend's like, hey, hop on the game. You're like, hold on, I have to figure out what I'm going to delete, and I got to download this. Give me 2 hours.
Re-download it, yeah.
Oh, and my controller needs an update.
My controller needs an update.
And the whole system needs an update too. So yeah, here we go.
I'm just going through my Steam of just like looking at like my like installed games right now. And I'm just off the dome. Liza P, 60 gigs, Overwatch, 70 gigs, 007, 53 gigs, No Rest for the Wicked, 45 gigs, Pragmata, 35 gigs, Marathon, 28 gigs. Wow, that's shocking. Metaphor, 80 gigs, Total Warhammer, 85 gigs, Digimon, 30 gigs. Like, this is granted, like I have a 2 terabyte. Yeah, I have another terabyte. I have like 3 different hard drives, but like
slight flex.
You know, this was back in the day. These are not. These are not. Yeah, these are not.
I did not buy this yesterday.
The cutting edge of these are back when prices were $200, $80 for one of these.
It dipped down for a second there. That was great. I bought so many when it was like super cheap.
Oh, when it was dirt cheap. When M.2 drives were like
oh my
cheap
god
as hell.
Yeah.
Good times.
But yeah, I mean, it's just to show that like. And the worst part is too, there's even on the PS5, I know this for a fact because I was just on it yesterday. Even on the PS5, there's like gaps in the PS5's like hard drive space. That's just like it's just
the OS owns it.
Stuff.
Yeah, the owns
that owns it. That when it gets updates, some of that it just inches away more and more of your actual usable space that you're actually using.
Yep.
So like there's just so much, and then when you download the DLC, and then you're downloading, the PS5 also makes like records of like every time you get a trophy, so you want to have those memories of when you scored your trophy. That also is taking up hard drive space. So like they're making us go to a system that's already being right now destroyed price wise.
Yep.
And it doesn't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense.
And to add insult to injury, I caught this tweet on the timeline going viral from Nib95, where he was talking about the data. You remember the leaks from Insomniac? I didn't know this part, but apparently there were sales data in there. And he was saying, keep in mind, it is a small sample size. But one of the arguments, and they even said it in the Sony blog, was one of the reasons why we are going digital only is because you guys only buy digital games. You don't buy physical anymore, which I think is bullshit. They just want to control, but it's the perfect excuse to hide behind if the data backs it. What he was arguing is, well, if you look at the Insomniac leaks, the data does not back it. Because if you look at games that released both digitally and physically, physical was outpacing the digital. And then because what they'll do is they'll take all the games that released ever, and then they'll conflate all the data. So an example being like a lot of games don't release physically, like Alan Wake 2. I would have loved to own Alan Wake 2,
100%.
but it was a digital only. So what he was arguing is they're taking that data of every game and then conflating it. So you'll have certain games where it's 100% digital, for the simple fact that there was never a physical copy. But if you look at games where they released physical and digital, like actual equal data, like Sackboy 77%, Ratchet and Clank 76%, Ghost of Tsushima 71%, about 60 to 7% of games that released on physical and digital, they're still selling physically. And I was like, should I believe this data? And then I thought about what JG had said earlier about all the people posting their collections. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I collect still. It's still a real thing. It's just not something to be vocal about until I guess they're trying to pull it away. But I'm like, yeah, I think these numbers are accurate. I think that Sony is hiding behind bullshit data and they're not looking at the full picture. I think physical is still a viable thing. Otherwise, how is GameStop still in business?
Right. Yeah. And I think we've seen like a push in all media types that people are starting to want to have physical more because they've seen what these companies have done. So like I could, see that maybe the vast majority of people who aren't locked into this kind of stuff don't really care. But there has absolutely been a push where more people are wanting to get physical things. Like I know personally a lot of people that are like, I'm not going to play the game until I can get my physical delivered to me.
Yeah, I can't speak on games, but yeah. On the music side of things, vinyls are the best selling physical platforms. It passed CDs, like and it's continuing to grow. I think it's just something about being able to have it on your shelf or hang it on the wall. Like people like that experience and that sense of ownership.
It's a ritual, right?
Collector's
of like
item.
getting it out off of your shelf and opening it up and putting it. It's like a whole experience that you're having.
Why can't they do USB? I feel like that's cheaper. It's
like releasing the game on USB.
Yeah, like why isn't that like USB?
I said the same thing.
And you like, I think I've seen PC like when PC is digital. I've seen some developers who are like, we're gonna make physical limited editions and we're gonna actually put the game files on a USB stick and we'll ship it to your house or whatever.
Is that cheaper than a disc, than a Blu-ray?
It has to be. Do you know how cheap USB sticks are now? You can get like a 60 gig USB stick for like under $10. Like
it wasn't like that back in the day. They were super
like that back
small,
then, now it's dirt cheap. Yeah, it's like you go to Best.
Imagine if they mass produced it.
Yeah, Micro Center, you can just buy one to put on your keychain. That's what I do. I always have a USB stick on my keychain.
Oh, this guy, he keep that thing on.
I keep that thing on. You never know when you need USB stick. You never know. I'm telling you.
Guys.
This goes out to all of y'all. We're in a world of corporate takeover. I'm telling y'all now. Y'all, every single person, y'all need to get a USB stick with a keychain and put it on your keychain and have it with you 24/7. You never know when a piece of information, digital information that might get wiped away is about to get wiped away in real time in front of you, and you need to have a way.
Are you saying you're ready to hack into the mainframe with your shit? Like,
look, that's the crazy part. It's not even hacking or something like that. It's not even hacking or anything like that. Let's say your internet goes down. Let's say something goes wrong. Let's say your computer blows up. Let's say you got to do something where you got to transfer it over to a friend's house. Or you got to go over to a friend's house or something like that. Or your friend has files or something like that, and their internet goes down. Or you allegedly working on the revolution, and you don't want certain people to get access to your information.
So put it offline, buddy.
I'm just saying, this type of the same way you're talking about now about all the digital and everything else. Think about it now. All your files, where are they right now? They're in the cloud. They are in the cloud. They're in my Dropbox. It's in my Google Drive. Right.
Well, I don't keep nothing super important on my computer. I got all my important files on paper.
Well, no, I'm saying in general. I'm saying like any sort of documentation you have, and also TBH, that doesn't even matter anymore because everything's going digital now. A lot of the Social Security stuff. You know what's crazy? Oh man, here I'm about to go political. So, Trump administration had recent, and I know this because I'm being on the tax side. I've been on the tax sector of stuff lately in the past like 3 years. On the tax sector, did you know that the IRS is getting rid of physical checks next year?
I did not know that.
I did not know
that. The federal government has mandated that in 2026 you will not be allowed the option to physically get a check in the mail for your tax refund. Instead, you are forced to give the government your financial information through your banking. They want a record of where you bank and where your bank account number is, so they can make sure they have information of you. Yeah. It is a control element. It's very similar to what happened with Sony. And now I want you to think of the millions of senior citizens who are 65 that don't know shit about how to go online to get a direct deposit or how they're supposed to. That's true. My parents are still scared of debit cards. In the year 2026, they are still scared of debit cards. They don't want to use. They're the same paranoia of like, I don't like this idea of using the card and people could take my card and stuff like that. Even though I'm like, it's more secure to walk around with money. They'd rather go to the bank and literally hit a withdrawal and stuff like that. And there's a whole generation of that. And we are that. It's just a physical aspect for video games. Yeah. So I'm just trying to put y'all in the game. There is more than just gaming on the line here. There are a lot of different sectors right now. Even what TBH is talking about, I'm gonna keep myself physical, stuff like that. There are a lot of even governmental forces at play right now that are trying to force you into a digital space of your information and keeping track of you. You got flock cameras. You got a lot of info. There is a surveillance state that is built and being currently overhauled right now for the next decade. And I'm sounding like a goddamn conspiracy theorist, but
flock cameras are real, and you can see what they do.
You can find them. There's
government agencies will tell you what they do with them.
Yes,
like they're not hiding.
This is public information, and the thing is, they think you're dumb. They think you guys are all imbeciles, and they'll tell you. They're telling you to your face, and they just know you're gonna be like, yes. Yes, I like this. Yes, I will say yes to all this.
So you're saying that GTA 6 and PlayStation, it's all a flag to see how the general population reacts to this information so that they know what they can do government-wise?
I think the same way. That we
fault again,
and they're all going to fold. They're already folded. They're 40 years ago.
I'd argue the same way that GTA started pushing microtransactions, and I'd argue in general. Oh man, I can't believe I said. I'd argue that capitalism has not only caused the detriment of creativity, but it's also the detriment of innovation. We thought in a world where capitalism would push markets to basically innovate on each other and try to beat each other when it comes to the marketplace. But what we saw with GTA is that you can keep the same products for a decade straight, not make any new GTA game because they know that they can keep doing the same thing over and over again and have a monopoly on it, and no one's going to fight them on it. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and what did they do to the multiplayer? Nothing. They let y'all suffer. They just said, nah, we're not doing none of that because GTA got us. Y'all suckers are buying up all them shark cards. And they kept it. And granted, I want to remind you, we went a whole generation. When we were younger, We went through 3 GTAs. We went through GTA 3.
It's like every 2 years.
Yeah, between a whole console gap.
I'd also argue they're all better than 5, but go ahead.
But think about that. We got to see GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas in one generation. And then we got to see GTA 4, which was such an insane jump.
Don't forget the PSPs, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City Stories.
Yeah, Vice City Stories. Yep.
And then we go to then we get to the next generation after that, and GTA 5, which, you know, scale wise, whatever you think about it, but it was a big jump for them. GTA 5 comes out, and nothing, silent. We went through 3 generations of consoles before a new GTA game.
They sat on it, bro.
They sat on it.
I looked at the timeline. I said, I didn't even realize it was every other year, bro. It was 2-year gap between those games.
Listen to me. You cannot convince me that is because GTA 6 just took so much time and billions of dollars. No, that is a conscious decision from business and capitalist corporations telling why waste our effort on making a new game when y'all are just buying the same stuff. This is the reason why y'all sit here and say you sit to live service games and you buying them every year. You support them every year. You're giving them money every year. You're not playing no new games. You're playing the same stuff.
10 million copies a year, they said. I was like, when I saw that stuff, I said, who is buying GTA 5 in 2026? 10 million copies.
230 million copies.
And you're about to do the same thing again. Y'all sit here on the internet talking about what Sony's doing is wrong. And then the next breath, but I ain't going to boycott GTA. But I ain't gonna boycott Token. I ain't gonna boycott nothing.
They're on the same side of the coin. Like,
you're the same. You're the problem. And until you recognize that you're the problem and you actively try to do something to fix it, I'm telling you right here, I'm pretty sure I'm convinced at this point. I'm just gonna boycott GTA 6. I'm not buying it. Me personally, I'm not saying the rest of you. I'm boycotting. I'm not gonna play.
Ethos, would you like to join me in Barbie Rewind?
Let's play Barbie Rewind. we can play No Rest for the Wicked.
We got a whole song.
We can play Godzilla. I'll play Godzilla. You play.
We could play Godzilla fighting game. We could play
the cat game.
We could play the cat delivery
game. We'll play that. I don't care. I am right now announcing, for me personally, I make an announcement. I am not playing GTA 6. I'm not going to buy it when it comes out. And until they say there's a physical or there's some sort of backwalking, I'm not going to support it. I'm not. That's just me. I'm not saying everybody else got to do it, but I'm going to do it.
No one else has to. Yeah,
I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm not going to support it. Y'all can do this thing all you want.
I feel the same way. It's that I think there's in November, I really want to play as many indie games as possible because it's going to be even harder for them to get attention than normal. And we could No Rest for the Wicked 1.0 is coming out. We could have a whole delicious November. No Rest for the Wicked.
I said
a little birdie told me you working on a series for like November about games to play instead of.
I would love to do that. Yeah. I would really love to do that. Games to play instead of GTA. Because there's a lot of people.
I love it.
Barbie Rewind.
I said, oh, she petty.
I'm feeling petty. Barbie Rewind got a song, okay? And you can play, not only is it a brand new game where you decorate Barbie dream houses throughout the years, they also have all of the OG games from like 1993. So they're also doing preservation.
It is a collection, yes.
It's a collection of OG games. It's a preservation project as well of getting all these old games on new hardware.
And another thing too, I think about is like we all know for the longest that gaming has had a preservation problem. So like whether people realize it or not, these things have become assets. So in my head, I'm like, why would you not? Even if you don't personally want to own an asset, why wouldn't you want that for like other people?
Why do you buy comics?
I'm not gonna lie, I read them, but the motherfuckers is assets. Like in my head, my comic books I am going to give to my kids, or if there's any point in my like where I'm like financially in trouble, I know there are books on my shelf that I could sell. I got an original pressing of Michael Jackson Thriller 1982 with Quincy Jones on the back, the original joint. I know that bitch worth at least $200-$300. Like that's what it's about. So I'm like, if you know there's a preservation problem, why would you want the game? Because the same thing is for games. Fight for New York is going for $200-$300 because that game will never be remade. So it's like, why wouldn't we want to hold on to these things, not just for playing them, but you could also turn them into an asset, which your collection.
I got a whole shelf of manga over there, and I can literally read a lot of it for free online very easily.
That's why I said, man, y'all inspired me so much. I said, I got to start getting back to collecting. Like, it has to be something. So that's why I got back in the cards. I'm like, let me just make it happen. But I just want to say this, like, consumers, I think that as an average consumer, you think you have no power. You have all the power. I'm going to tell you this right now. You have all the power. They just make the products for us, but we can decide with the dollar if we want to buy it or not. If we do not buy it, then they do not make money. They do not make revenue. They do not make a profit. I want you all to understand that and do not feel like, oh, because I may feel some type of way because the majority of people around the world don't, that it still won't make an impact. Trust me, it will. That's why I said, man, y'all niggas are fucking programmed, bro. Y'all brainwashed about the GTA 6, about your loyalty to Sony. I literally saw somebody was like, man, they gonna make a PS6 because we have the loyalty to these other consoles. I ain't never had no loyalty to no previous console, bro. They're just a console. They're just a vessel for me to play the games on. You just make the games. You just make the games on there. Then I play them. I'm not saying, oh man, I'm just holding on to my PS5 for dear life because I don't want a PS6 to come out. That's stupid. Like, what are y'all talking about? So
I've been saying TBH is going to be making fun of me in a couple years for having a PS5.
We're gonna be the PS5 ninjas.
Sometimes I forget Mass Effect was an Xbox 360 exclusive. You know why I forget? Because I don't give a fuck that it was. The only thing I care about is the fucking game. Like, why do y'all care about the plastic so much, man?
It's crazy, man.
And the crazy part too is there's a rumor surfacing around. Has anybody gotten a chance to double check on this? According to Twitter, the TOS on PSN has been updated, and apparently as of April of 2026, Section 21, it outlines for inactive PSN accounts. If you're inactive for 36 months, so for 3 years, they reserve the right to delete all games in your account. Is this real?
Oh, I have not heard about that, and I surely hope that's not true.
Which one is this? This is the PlayStation that can delete digital games?
Yup.
I don't know. I heard people talking about it as well. I don't know. I haven't fact checked it.
Yeah, I haven't fact checked this one, so like take this one with a grain of salt, listeners. I just woke up from a nap, so I didn't double check on that, but I just wanted to share. If this turns out to be true, don't be shocked. That would be nasty work. As well as investors are happy, obviously. Stocks went up 2 to 3% for Sony with the announcement of they're removing DISCS because now they don't have to deal with the logistics of moving around product. So that means they get to cut some fat off and make some extra money. So investor, even though you're not happy, the consumer, the investors are, because they get to make more money. And then also I think it was I saw that they're potentially raising the price of PS Plus as well.
They're thinking about it because apparently there is value, according to them, for PS Plus, and they said that there is a good number of people that actually have the higher tiers of PlayStation Plus.
Oh Lord. Freaking yeah, I believe so. This is just a rumor that Sony's discussing raising the price, but I believe this rumor is true. And the reason I believe it, if you guys remember, I don't know how many podcasts ago, but there was definitely an article we covered where Sony revealed in a quarterly earnings calls to its shareholders that if money starts to get a little tight, their plan B, and I'm paraphrasing, their plan B would to double down on the people who are paying. And translation, that equals raise the price on certain things. So like with this article coming out, I believe that this could be true, that they're about to raise. And I mean, what's going to stop them, right? We don't own any games.
No,
you got to pay to play online. And most of the games people are playing on PlayStation are online games. So I double checked that mine's canceled.
Yeah, I canceled mine 2 months ago. I said, when's the last time I played a PlayStation game online? I'm like, well, I'm just wasting money. I'm giving y'all $69.99 for nothing. I'm like, man, I'm canceling this shit.
According to Twitter, too, apparently the official PlayStation Reddit is banning any posts discussing how people don't like the digital versus physical conversation. So people are pissed at Sony about this, too. They're deleting it. Yep, they are censoring the Reddit.
Crazy.
But that's the Sony situation. I seen a lot of people say they're not buying PlayStation 6s. Where are y'all at mentally in terms of like PlayStation 6 with this news?
I don't need it.
Nope.
I do not want to hear about your $1,000+ console that I'm going to play 2 times a year.
Don't come out next year. Don't come out. I don't want to see you in 2028 either.
I assume they're planning it for 2028 when they got no discs.
Yeah. I don't think I need it. Like
I don't need it.
What's the point of this shit?
This whole thing is like just rubbed me the wrong way, like real bad. Where I'm like, do I need to play this exclusive game? I don't need to. There's so many games. I could be happy with my PC, with my whatever I end up having.
Yeah, my question to like people who are, because I get it, right? The console is plug and play. There are just some people who don't give a fuck about PC. The thing is plug and play. But I will ask to those people who've always had that stance, it gets to a point where it's like you no longer have the argument that console's cheaper, that it's plug and play. I mean, we just talked about it. The controller has updates on console now. What's that about? It's no longer plug and play. It's no longer cheap. They're raising the price on the online. You don't own any of the games. Over on PC, I get it. You got to build the PC. But at least the online's free. At least there's multiple different stores. Like right now, you could build a PC and you would never have to buy a game because Epic Game Store gives away free games every week. And they're good games, by the way. I got the entire Batman Arkham collection on the Epic Game Store for free.
You can literally buy Witcher 3 for $4 right now on Steam. Like this is what happens when you're on PC. Like getting on there might cost you a bit of money. It might be a mental block for you to get over to get to that point where you're jumping into being a PC gamer. But I mean, things have gotten a lot easier and smoother than they were back in the day when I think probably a lot of these people decided that PC was a bit too much for them. Like programs are a lot easier to navigate now. UIs are a lot better. It's a lot more simple to own a PC.
Yeah, and I asked like, what's the breaking point for people? Because there's always a breaking point. And I remember when I was talking about this on stream, somebody in the chat said that, oh, TBH, they still gonna buy this shit. And I said, I don't know, man. I said, it's a pretty negative sentiment online. I'm starting to see a little bit of a shift. And I said, this may be an extreme example, but I said, it is an example. I said, a lot of times when we learned about American history and we learned about the American Revolution, you know, they brought up the taxation without representation, and like people forget that meant taxation without representation across the board for everything involving money, right? But you know what the breaking point is? It was the T. That sounds goofy as hell, but when they tried to raise the price on the T and motherfuckers lost it, bruh, it might be these game discs right here, which, you know, happy birthday to America, by the way, July 4th and all that shit.
I just want to point out, you do that point. People said the same thing about Xbox One when they announced the whole, TV, movies, like that sort of thing. Like that was because of consumers, like cause they did not sell a lot of Xbox Ones, and it hurt Xbox. It's hurt them to this day because of consumers basically saying, I don't want to support this, so I'm not going to buy it. And that's why Sony blew up and did really good in PS4 and still doing good to this day.
That's why Sony did that commercio of here's how you share a game on PlayStation.
Somebody I can bite them in the ass now.
You know how to, oh my God. They aged so badly now. Like I can't believe it, bro. They dropped the ball.
And the crazy part is we said even back then, we said Sony's not your friend. We said that. I remember we said that a decade ago. We've been said Sony's not your friend. Y'all need to stop dick riding them just because they said, oh, we're handing PCs, we're handing you I remember we were talking about like the power of the consoles at the time. We were just like, these are not really that strong. Like, you know, these can't barely play anything at 60 FPS still. And you know, people were just like, but they're for the consumer. Like, there's no company that is for the consumer.
If
they're
for the consumer, if it pays them.
If it pays them, it is, as long as the two sides align in the same goal, then they're aligned. But the moment there's a split, they are not going to be on your side.
Like it was crazy too because I seen a tweet replaying that old video with the PS4 situation, and this is how you know trade a disc in with the PS4. It said, "Man, I can't believe this was 13 years ago." And then I thought about it. I was like, "Damn, you know what else came out 13 years ago? GTA 5."
GTA 5.
It's almost like this is a canon event. Like the universe is telling us stuff with like what the fuck
same timing. The
timeline is crazy.
It repeats itself.
Hey, but don't worry, guys. Because PlayStation is already shutting down its largest disc plants, its Blu-ray disc plants, and converting them into AI centers to make optical micro lenses. You guys like that shit? Huh?
I mean, they already saw it coming, so this is why they made the shift. They said that they produce 600,000 discs per day. Just think about that, 600,000. And they said Sony accounted for 50% of that plant, 50% of that production. So that's already bye finito in 2 years, and they're already, man. Again, watch out, man.
Just shows you how long they've been setting this up, right? Like these are things that take a long time to make happen.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to own a copy of Wolverine. Like I'm with you, Jay. Like if I can get a free copy, I'll accept the digital. But I think my new rule is going to be if I don't get it for free, I might just go back to straight.
I think for hard now,
copies that I really want. Yeah,
I got a house now because you brought up a good point, TBA. Like when you're moving around, I'm like, I'm not trying to carry all this stuff. Like I have some boxes that have some things in there, but I think now I can safely be like, all right, I'm going to have a collection somewhere.
Your game should be in the background. Your wall empty as hell.
Well, it's just because of my dangle mine, but I have stuff back there. But okay. But I'm going to get a bookshelf like right there so y'all can see it and have some stuff there because I've collected some things. They're just all in the closet. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing that for sure.
And the last bit of Sony news, this one happened this morning. It just keeps getting worse. Marvel Token will be region locked on PC in 130 countries due to its situation. I guess Sony owns this game or something like that.
Yeah. They worked with Arc Systems to make the game. Yeah.
So I saw apparently because there's going to be Evo Morocco and it's banned in Morocco, one of the 130 countries. They said, how the fuck are they going to hold the tournament with Marvel Token?
Ooh,
yeah.
This is based for anyone confused. Like this is what happened with Helldivers, where you had to have a Sony account, a PlayStation account in order to play the game. People got really mad. And then Sony ended up saying, my bad, and took it away. But they're doing it again.
Doubling down, tripling down again. But Sony could do no wrong, apparently. They could do no wrong.
This is how evil this company is. They start winning this generation by a landslide. And they said, you know what? No more DISC and OSCO. We're going to ban over 100 countries from playing one of the most biggest games of the year. This is one of the biggest games. That's nasty work to me. Or you need to log into PlayStation. Otherwise, like, bro, what are we talking about?
Yeah, insane.
Nasty work, but it only gets nastier, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the RAM conversation. So RAM manufacturers are being sued in a class action lawsuit. In this class action lawsuit, the plaintiffs are accusing the three big manufacturers, which is, I believe, Micron, Hynix, and Samsung, of colluding and basically increasing the prices. So like we were under the impression that this was just due to basically AI data centers, the lack of regulation, also things going on in the Middle East with the oil prices, that's raising things, making it hard to move things around. But there's also a third component potentially where basically they were using those two things as a smokescreen. This is what the plaintiffs are arguing, and basically raising the price even more, price gouging, basically. So basically they're arguing it shouldn't be as expensive as it should be more expensive, but it shouldn't be. And the three are doing it and they control all of the RAM. And I didn't even know that these three companies control the majority of the production of this stuff like this. Do we think that this lawsuit's going to go anywhere, Ethos?
I hope so. I have no faith currently in our government to do any sort of regulation to reel
Trump
some of these.
I investigated myself. We didn't find it.
Knowing Trump, he'll probably go in and say, "Give me 10% of your company, and we'll throw it underneath."
If you want to give us some money for Freedom 250, we'll
slide underneath the bed, and that's all.
I just found out about this website called CS:GO Lotto. I just put $50 in, and I just keep winning. I don't know why. Man.
The RAM prices are so good.
Yeah, this is it's ugly, but again, this is not the first time that this has happened. In 2005, Samsung got caught. They paid the fine. Guess what? They said we gonna do it again 21 years later, bro. I swear these companies ain't shit, man. They really ain't shit. And I think the worst thing about it is, again, they have so much money, they just pay the fine and then just move on with their lives like nothing happened. It happens so much with these huge companies, and I'm like, why even sue them, bro? You just getting your money and then just moving on, like, but nothing changes. I would love to see some actual change, some actual regulations put in place to say, hey, you all can't do this anymore. But again, that's just the realist in me, and I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, they are working together to make sure the price of DDR5 RAM is like the same, so no one's undercutting one another. And then they're also limiting the amount of DDR4, et cetera, that you can get, all of them. So they're pushing you towards this more expensive one and making sure that no one undercuts each other. And like JG said, they've done this before. Like there are some Samsung people that ended up in jail because of it. They had to pay $300 million. They are not above doing this. So I would not be surprised at all if they are doing this again, because this is just what they do. They try and take advantage of the consumer.
All I can think of is, when does it end, man? Like they say it's darkest before dawn. Like how much darker can it get? Like
when the guillotines come out, man.
I said it on stream this week. I was like, I'm like, I just want people to understand. I'm tired of talking about this negative shit. I like a good mix. It's gotten way too negative. I'm over it, bro. It's fucking gross. And it's only gonna get worse because, ladies and gentlemen, apparently the Steam machine is not without fault as well. The $1,400 underpowered gaming PC hybrid console is reportedly got something in common with the Xbox 360. You guys remember the Xbox Red Ring of Death?
Well, never happened to me. Kept
go.
The Steam, the longest 2 weeks of my life when I got it. The Steam machine apparently has something akin to it called the Red Line of Death. And granted, to be fair, because I already read this one, it's only been reported by one user on the subreddit for Steam machines, but it is something to keep an eye on because also, to be fair, not everybody has one of these. These things are still just entering the wild, but the fact that we already got one, it's something to keep us an eye on to see if this becomes a mass problem, especially if you're interested in the Steam machine. So apparently there are a bunch of different ways to tell whether or not your Steam machine is failing. And if you get the red line, according to this article, that means GPU failure. So his thing is completely bricked and they're calling it the Red Line of Death. What's that doing for you, Ethos?
I was just about to order me some pizza. It's bad. It's bad, man. It's bad because not only are you getting overpriced for these parts, but I have a feeling because of the current world economics and everything going bad and unemployment and everything, I have a feeling companies are rushing to AI and they're cutting corners. And it wouldn't shock me if the hardware they're producing is less quality. Have you noticed that the quality of stuff you've been getting lately feels more cheap than how it felt about a couple years ago?
I threw a Nokia cell phone. Well, didn't throw, but I've had one drop off of a roller coaster. Found it on the floor and it was fine. That would not happen for any technology these days.
I'm just next time when you buy something, anything electronic, I want you to like feel it. Like physically, if it's something physical, feel it. You're gonna start to notice some parts feel they're a little more plastic nowadays than what it used to be. Less
Why is the liquid metal in the PS5 always dripping and blowing up people's PS5s, especially when most of y'all games are digital? It ain't even a disc in that bitch. What the fuck is melting in there?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, this sucks, man. I mean, it sucks being a beta tester because again, you purchase something, you get it day one, or you get it to test. You're literally testing it. Yeah, it's you're gonna run into these things. I don't think it's gonna be a huge thing, or at least I'm hoping not, because I hope that Valve is looking at this and like, hey, we got to fix this. But don't be surprised again if you already pre-ordered it and you're gonna get it day one. Prepare for the worst because you're gonna be the guinea pigs here.
Yeah, I'll say this. Just because the price of things are increasing does not mean the quality of things are increasing. I need everybody to keep that in mind, okay? If you know you don't got a lot of disposable income, wait for a review to come out with these pieces of tech, because this is not something to play around in, or you're going to be out of a lot of money. On the flip side, former PlayStation boss Yoshida, he has some thoughts about the Steam machine. He said the 3D performance is meh. He doesn't like the fact that it defaults to 1080p. He said, am I going back to the PS4 days? Can I just say that's great? A former PlayStation executive can't stand PS4 players either. That's great. Some games take too long to load, but he does like the AI, being able to boot up by pressing a button on the Steam controller feature. I'm a UI, my bad. UI. My bad.
Like the AI.
The changeable faceplate is cool. The fact that that's like the first real positive is crazy to me. Yeah. Random boot up videos is a nice touch. Sticks on the Steam controller is a bit loose for my taste. Having the touchpad is nice, but very touchy. It's a little too sensitive. Allowing myself to be able to play Steam games on living room TV is cool. For the price, he's like, I don't know about it. It seems like basically because he's rich, he's like, I'll keep it. But I'm going to be honest. Seems like he's kind of about the Steam machine. This doesn't surprise me. I don't see a reason to own one at that price point. At that price point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a really cool like little piece of tech. It runs, as far as we've seen, very cool, very quiet. You can put it pretty much anywhere. It can basically be like a portable computer. If you put Windows on it, you can use that as your like PC that you just take everywhere with you. But for that amount of money, man, I'd have to be using that thing for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you can tell he's rich because he got the one with the controller too. That's crazy.
True.
Ain't that like
when did he get the highest? He's I was like, what it will be. I mean,
shout out to seen that sounds. Oh, he gotta be rich. He got one with a controller.
He got a controller.
The monkey's paw always pearl. So we know PlayStation's already like that. I don't even think PlayStation just like shot themselves in the like the thigh. I think they just straight up did this and just said, "Hey, it is what it is, buddy." And I think the rule: if PlayStation does something bad, Xbox got to 2 times it. I think not only are the layoffs going to be
I think it's happening tomorrow. And it's going to be
it's going to be a bloodbath tomorrow. I think Xbox is going to announce there's going to be no controller with the next Xbox. I'm calling it now.
We're recording the day before it's rumored that Microsoft is about to have a bunch of layoffs. So next week it might be more negativity.
They gonna announce
apparently the worst layoff in gaming history.
Yeah, they're hyping this up. Yeah, so people
they're hyping this up. They're nasty. It's gonna be an event.
It's crazy. They're hyping this up as the worst
posters for this.
Yeah, bro. We're preparing for D-Day, bro. I don't know the way that they're talking about this. I'm scared. Honestly, I'm scared.
It makes me real angry because, like, for previous management was like, we just want to flesh out the Game Pass. Like, take your time, make indie darlings, like, get this thing with a bunch of different things that people can play. And then new management is like, actually, you can't do that. So
get out of here.
You didn't make any money when we told you don't need to make money. Well, you got to go.
You know what's crazy? Something's happened. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but the timing is very weird. Something has happened with PlayStation and Sony. Oh no, that's the same people. Sony and Microsoft, where it's like they both management-wise just shifted almost around the same time, and their priorities just shifted. Like Layton and the rest of them, they booted Yoshida, they get booted.
I'll tell you what
now this new management's in place, and now they're making all these terrible calls. And then Microsoft, same thing. Phil and them, who's part of the old guard, same with Yoshida, they get booted. Now there's new guard, and now all this bad shit's happening all at once. It's like it's a very interesting time.
It's the devil known as live service games. What's the difference between this generation and last? It's that GTA. Boom in that live service. That has become, I generally think that their brain, it's like with live service games, it's like that person who can't leave the casino. And I think all these executives at Microsoft and Sony are that junkie who can't leave the casino because in their head, they're just like, yeah, we failed 10 times, but if we just get one, we will be fucking rich. And it's skewing their perception of everything. And it sucks too, because I feel like we've had business models and things in place that have worked. And it's one of those things is like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that's what happened to the industry in the last 10 years. We fixed a bunch of shit that didn't need to be fixed. Why does every game need to be $200 million? Why?
You know what's crazy? I'll go even crazier than that. I think what's happened is, you know what they said, like, what's it called? The in-shitification.
Yeah.
Hardware providers and publishers, I think they've given up. I think they have stopped trying to innovate, and I think they've stopped trying to do something different. Do you remember, like, when we were kids, like, it always felt like when they were making consoles and whatever it was, they would try to one-up each other. Like, this is crazy to me, right? Nintendo used to make some weird fucking hardware. That used to be Nintendo's thing.
Yeah.
The Switch and Switch 2 are almost inseparable from each other. You can't even, there's like really no, like, what's the gimmick? What's the new thing? Like the Switch at least had the drift.
I don't know about that. I gotta get some pushback on that.
What is the Switch 2 done? What's different about the Switch 2?
Hold on. I'd argue Nintendo made more traditional consoles for the majority of their lifespan. What you're talking about, it did change with the Wii.
No,
it did change with the Wii.
The Wii was weird. The GameCube was fucking weird. The Nintendo 64 was fucking weird. Yes, the GameCube was weird.
It's a cube.
It's a cube. It's a bottom part. You look at a GameCube controller? That is fucking weird.
I don't think that controller. I don't think it was that weird.
It was weird.
That was a traditional console. I don't think it was that weird.
Controller.
That controller, TBH. You gotta admit that, bro. You gotta admit it.
It was one of the greatest controllers ever. That's one of my favorites.
No. TBH, I want you to Google right now the GameCube, because I think you just forgot. It's been a long. I want you to Google the GameCube controller, and I want you to look at the back of it. They have a Z button.
Bro, I play Smash. I still use the GameCube controller to this day.
Why did they add just a Z button?
We conditioned to play it that way.
I might have just been a weird ass kid. That console was not weird. Predating the Wii, the only weird console I will say Nintendo made was that one with that red shit. What was that?
I will disagree with TBH. And chat, you can start off. All of them hoes were weird. All of them were weirdos.
What's the 3D joint with it failed like a motherfucker? What was that called?
The 3DS. TBH, they made a console and then they made a new version called the 3DS that had 3D built inside of the box. That's weird.
It didn't work though. It wasn't weird. The only thing was weird about it is it didn't work.
Because it's weird. They do weird stuff. They had the VR goggles back before it was popular. They've always been weird. And they stopped being weird after the Wii U, which had a tablet as a controller. They stopped. They made the Switch, which was like probably the closest thing they made to innovation. And then the Switch 2. There's nothing different between the Switch and the Switch 2. They're almost like, Watts, do you have the Switch 2?
Yeah.
In front of you. Can you show it to the class? I don't know if you have the Switch on you. I wish I hold on.
That sounds crazy out of context.
Hey, you got the Switch on you.
You got that Switch on it.
I've got Monster Hunter and
the screen
Monster
on is that an OLED screen? The screen is nice.
No.
It's pretty good.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Look at the form factor.
You know what it has?
Look!
Clean your screen. Dusty ass screen.
I haven't used it. Look!
It's got these things.
Yeah, the magnets.
The magnet things. Yeah.
But if you look at the whole, there's no difference in the design of it.
I will concede Nintendo is weirder than Xbox than PlayStation, but flat out weird. Like everything.
Yes!
I don't think the GameCube was that weird, bro.
I don't think the N64 controller is weird, bro.
It is. We're so used to it because again, we love Nintendo. And TBH was talking about the Virtual Boy. That's
the Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
that one was weird. That one was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
The handhelds. They made a clamp. They made a cloister into the clapper. The SP.
The clamshell. I don't think that's weird though. That's why I disagree.
Recently they made that weird alarm clock thing.
Because like back then, right? We used to have see-through stuff. Nintendo had a bunch of see-through consoles. You had purple, green. You had a bunch of them on the N64.
I had a purple one.
I think where we're disconnecting is I think where we're disconnecting is our idea of what's weird and what isn't. That's the disconnect. I think. I don't think translucent. I'm weird. I think translucent controls is cool. I don't think that's weird.
That's the weird part. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're thinking weird is not cool. I think it's both. They can be weird and cool. The translucent shit is cool. It's weird, but it's cool. We love that shit. I remember my Game Boy Color. The translucent shit was gas, but it's weird. You're looking inside the components of the device. It's a weird idea, but it's cool. And that's the thing I'm saying is that, remember when Xbox announced the thing for the media? The see-through Xbox? How did everyone react to that? Oh my God, I want one.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think of how much we've lost. That's the reaction we have. When that used to be normal. Now it's like, oh my God, that's so cool because we've lost it. No one does it anymore.
We don't have any whimsy in our life anymore.
Yes, there's no whimsy. There's no whimsy. There's no abracadabra. It's everything. The marketing for the Series X was a fucking fridge. It was a fucking fridge.
Yeah, they did.
A fridge. No creativity. It's a fridge, bro.
TV.
The PlayStation 5, it looks like Seto Kaiba. It looks like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! It has this jacket. That's what they look like. That's it. The Switch looks exactly the same. There's no innovation anymore. No one trying to push the boundaries. Even AAA stagnant. They don't even know what they do. Ubisoft can't even come up with a create. They used to be the king of creativity. Now they can't even come up with unique game ideas
whatever
anymore.
You're looking for, it ain't gonna happen because GTA 6 is about to sell buku copies, so it don't even matter.
Yeah.
And you know what's gonna be bad? And you know what's gonna infuriate me? You know what's gonna infuriate me to prove my point more? If GTA comes out, you know what? I'm like that. I'm like homeboy. I'm like Eddie from Spider-Man 3, bro. I'm just praying to God I'm on this downfall. I want this game to be a commercial failure. I need it to be Cyberpunk bad or worse.
Ito said that, not us.
I stand on it. I think the industry. I think everybody needs we need a comic. We need a comic to hit the ground right now. So I'm saying it right now. I personally am praying on the downfall of this game. But outside of that, what I think is the thing that's going to really frustrate me and really anger me is if the game comes out and let's say it's fine, and a commercial success, but then we critically look at it and we're just like, damn, what did this game really do different than GTA 5?
I do feel like that's more likely. I think
you know what's going to happen? Be good. You will not be allowed to say it. They will silence your voice.
You will. You'll be able to say it 5 years from now. I think what's going to happen.
We never get to say it at the time. It doesn't matter. It's after the point. It's not when we need to be saying it.
I think at worst case scenario for GTA 6 is going to be
like we'll talk about 5. Do you remember when 5 got criticized? Do you remember the way people were like, "Oh, you're just"? Do you remember when 5 ever got? I think what was it? Polygon criticized it. I was like, the story wasn't all that. And remember, the internet dumpstered them,
bro. I was about to say,
them for it.
Just rage baited this week.
Yes,
Redemption 2 sucks.
Yes, dog. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
People think Redemption 2 is one of the best games ever, bro. It's literally at that point. I was like, I don't understand that. I was like, well, did we play the same game? And they were like, we fucking love Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like, man, I don't know if we were playing the same game. I was like, it was good, but I didn't see it being one of the best games ever. People can love Red Dead all
they want and stuff like that. I don't know what happened. I've always said I didn't think GTA 5 was all that in a bag of chips. I thought it was okay game. I thought it was a solid game. I played it, but I when it came out on the 360, I played it when it was on PC too. I've always thought, I was like, single player wise, it was, but I agree with what you're saying, TBH. A lot of people have, in retrospect, now gone back and be like, was it really better than 4? And then you got all the Kroby Cat stuff. It's like, let's look at this comparison video of what you lost. But there was one thing I saw. Shouts to Watts. I was watching you stream, and you put up the video about the history of the controversy with
that GTA. Was a fun video.
That was a good video. Shouts to IGN. That was actually a really good video.
That was a really good video.
You can't give them credit. That's problematic.
It was a really good video.
It was
about violence in GTA. But they said something really which Watts pointed out, and I had the same realization what Watts did on the stream, and it had me cracking up. Watts said, "Oh my God, someone called Grums," because they made a very good point in the IGN video, which I didn't forget. They said GTA has actually progressively, as time has gone on, gotten less and less violent as the series has gotten gone. Like less of the craziness of how like Grounded 4 was. 5 kind of went backwards on some of it, and every single one, even like 3 in Vice City, it's kind of been going backwards. And I was in there and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I haven't thought about that for a minute, but they were showing like some of the gameplay, like how more like bloody and gory it was in like Vice City and 3. A lot of that has been like toned backwards. And that's why now you don't really hear a lot of people now talking about some, how like Hillary Clinton, you need to
trying to ban
protect the kids. It's not, we've become desensitized to the point, and Rockstar's been like steadily like think about the Warriors. I know you love that one, GG. Remember how violent that game was, or what was it, Manhunter, was it?
Manhunt was a big one. Manhunt was that one,
think about that, and now think of like how GTA 5 is. It's like kiddie game compared to that.
I did see somebody post like you should go back and listen to like the radio commercials in GTA like 3 and 4. And literally, it's making fun of what GTA 5 and 6 have become like.
Yep.
And like people don't even see that.
Stay away from the kids, though. They were right about that one.
Like it blows my mind that people call themselves fans, and it's like this game has become exactly what it hated, basically.
Another funny thing that that IGN video brought up is that you remember the hot coffee controversy of mini sex mini games that were in GTA. They made them remove it from the console versions in order to have the rating that they needed. And the main guy of GTA was like, it's okay, because when I put it on PC, I'm just going to patch it back in. They can just get it themselves. I'm like, PC players were able to experience your true vision of your game. And now you don't want to put it on PC.
That's funny.
We don't buy them shark cards. That's what that is.
Yeah, they know we're not going to stand for it.
And speaking of capitalism, you could buy a marked up Steam machine for over $200 more than what it costs, so $1,600. They're putting them on eBay, pre-orders.
Can we please nuke the world, bro? Like what are we doing, bro? Seriously.
Fallout was right. Fallout was right.
Gaming like, is too expensive. Let's make it more expensive by our own merit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man?
I don't even have the game. Like again, like, and then you have those people who just they could care less about gaming. Like they may have something, but they could care less. They're just trying to get a quick buck, especially in this economy. Like how dare y'all, man? Y'all don't even have the damn console in hand yet, or you don't have a Steam machine in hand yet, and you're selling it. You're marking it up. Come on, man. We need to do better.
Going back to those Xbox layoffs that are supposed to happen next week. This episode will be out by then. This previous week that we're covering, apparently the union for Microsoft, and to brace for these layoffs, apparently they're trying to negotiate, some workers' rights with Microsoft, the union, basically saying that They're negotiating with Microsoft to find new owners or to go independent. They're also asking to be told ahead of time and to be provided proper severance. Those are the three things that the union is demanding from Microsoft before the layoffs happen, which I find to be very interesting because I don't feel like they're asking for a lot. They're not even asking for like a raise. They're just saying like, hey, if you fire us, could you let us know and not put it on Twitter and maybe pay us like a little severance? Do we think this is a fair deal, Watts?
I think that is a very fair thing to ask. It's all that all these unions are normally just asking for them to like have healthcare and like be paid enough to live in the city where they operate and to get a heads up if something bad is happening, to give options. It's never like they're asking anything crazy, but these companies will keep union busting for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, and I feel like if they don't respect these workers' rights, just to put it in perspective, like a game like GTA 6 will cease to exist eventually, because if nobody wants to work on it because they're not being compensated correctly, like the game will just stop working because the online component is the most important part. It ain't the story anymore. So I don't understand why some people are so advocating against this. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, as long as the game come out. Well, when the game comes out and it's a live service game and the employees are not being paid, the game will stop working eventually, because they're talking about potentially going, in this article, they were saying they're potentially going to go on strike the day. No, not this one. I'm into that. There's another article I have, but I'll say it now. Rockstar employees are potentially talking about going on strike 24 hours before GTA 6 comes out. And I'm not going to lie. If that happens, I'll fucking laugh.
They should.
That'd be anarchy.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're worried about something happening, right? If they're like, we got to make sure we make this happen before it comes out.
Because they're going to get mass fired.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. We're going to be raking in this money. See you later, suckers.
Yeah, because I mean, that was pretty much the news all this year was about the Rockstar employees that allegedly got fired because they were talking in Discord trying to unionize. So you union busted that. And now we're about to get to this, potential situation. So, reading that TLDR for the people listening, they said that, of course, crunch was the number one thing that they were going through with making GTA 6. They said that they were unfairly incentivized as well when it came to bonuses, hitting those milestones. So they said that was also unfair. So there were multiple things going on here, but obviously number one is crunch. And I seen some people push back. They were like, well, every game has crunches. I was like, does that make it good?
Does that make
it good to because you crunch to make your favorite game and you don't give a fuck about the developers, you give a fuck about anybody who played it? Just because every game that you think has crunch, does that make it good? No.
Like, why is a studio having crunch when it's taking 13 years to make a game?
Exactly. Come on. I say a lot of people.
They don't have to crunch their employees. They have
Where is your deadline? Who is telling you that you have to bring out this game that you took 13 freaking years? I'm sure someone was in your ear.
Why is there crunch?
3 years after the damn game came out was like, where's GTA 6? So y'all working on it? Like, come on now. 13 years.
And to make matters worse, this one's really going to hurt me. This is why this week is going to be interesting. For the Microsoft Bloodbath, one of the predictions is this week, Arcane Studios will be shut down. And leading up to the Bloodbath of this week, the president of Arcane Studio has already resigned. And then this article came out. Tom Warren from The Verge is hearing from Microsoft insiders that Arcane will be potentially shut down and Blade will be canceled.
World War Xbox. Blow it up. I'm talking straight up Johnny Silverhand. Johnny Silverhand.
You cancel Blade as World War Xbox.
Blow it up. I'm telling you right now, there ain't no way you gonna kill one of my favorite developers and bomb one of my favorite franchise potentials. This is all Deadpool's fault. They had that damn quote where he said there'll only be one there'll be only one, there'll be one Blade, and I think that just cursed us. We'll never see another game with a different Blade in it.
If this news comes true, I might have to tweet Asha. You know that meme of that rabbit pointing at the clock? Like, you're on the clock.
No, the clock is done. There is no you on the clock. You're done.
You're cooked.
You're done. You're cooked.
I watched the reveal trailer again for Blade, and I was like, dude, everything it's so good. The music that they're using, the art style, it's so good.
You know what also is bad about that? If they shut down Arcane, I'm thinking right now, and I'm 90% positive, Arcane, I think, is the only AAA studio still in the marketplace that still makes emergent sims. I don't think there's any other. I don't think there's any studio in the marketplace that does that. Like that's like the games like Deus Ex. They're the RPGs where like you can do like pretty much you can do unique things with a bunch of game systems.
You can tackle situations in different ways.
Yeah, those games are very hard to make. That's why, and they take a while to make, and they're very complex.
We're not getting Dishonored 3.
I gave up on Dishonored 3. I don't think we're ever going to see that, man. That's our Titanfall 3. That's another Titanfall 3. We're never going to see.
They can't count the 3. We're never going to see.
They can't count the 3. So
yeah, man. When I saw that, I was like, no, it didn't come up again, bro. I was like, no, Arcane didn't come up again because the rumor the last time was that Arcane was on a chopping block, and then they let go of Compulsion and Double Fine and Ninja Theory, and I was like, look, if Arcane gets the boot, we riot, and then it came up again. I was like, and you're allegedly supposed to let go of 9,000 employees, even from companies, the studio that you already have.
Why is 343 still alive? Why are they still in the game?
Bro,
why are they still there?
Ethos, it's different. It's called Halo Studios.
No, it's not.
Halo Studios,
I'd rather
it's different
make
now.
Halo
It's different.
than 343. I'd rather Arcane
if you make 3 shitty games and then just change your name, it did. Listen, virginity resets every 24 hours.
I am not even joking.
Virgin now. You're
the
reborn
way
virgin.
it was World War Capcom, I will hold a grudge so strong against Xbox if they get rid of Arcane. I will not support anything Xbox. I swear to God.
It's only this bad because they bought all of these studios. If they just did this on their own and they collapsed, but I wouldn't care. It'd be like, it's unfortunate. It's just they're killing so many jobs and great IPs and games. And I'm like, why did you bring all these people down with you, man?
All these amazing studios, please remain independent. Do not do business with Sony. Do not do business with Microsoft. Just be done with them, bro.
Do what Double Fine did. Open that Kickstarter. Get that Kickstarter started, bro. Yeah. I will support Arcane. I will support every game on Kickstarter that you need money for, bro. I know it's not going to be enough, but I'll give something to help y'all start prototyping. Bro.
Yeah, I might too. Microsoft, do the right thing and let them go. Let them go and pay anybody who you're about to let go a fair wage. Like, give them a severance and let them go, bro. I don't even want to deal with this negotiating. I don't want to deal with this. Oh, there's a possibility that we might be closed for good. Let them go and let them be independent.
Yeah, when I first saw this rumor about Blade potentially being canceled, I was like, "Ain't no way, Xbox ain't that fucking stupid."
They are that.
And but when I saw the president, when the president stepped down, I said, "Oh no!" I said, "That's not good."
Like,
man.
Blade has gotten such a bad rep, bro. Between the movie and this game, bro, I'm so tired of my nigga being in this situation. Man, it's terrible.
Someone in my chat was like, how hard is it? Why can't they just make a vampire game? Castlevania did it.
Why is it so hard?
Why is it so funny to make a vampire game?
He deserves better than this.
He deserves better. You saw the way that people reacted when they saw him on the screen for Token. Why is it so hard to get?
He's in here. He's in Rivals, but he can't get his own game.
This is your Spider-Man, Microsoft. What are you doing? Oh,
that ass is.
But don't worry, bro. We're going to have another Halo game. We're going to have another Gears. Don't worry, bro.
Chill. Send the Unreal Engine 5. We have another Halo. It's got third person.
Another Fable.
Hey, Fable looks good. Relax.
I know it does, but I want play. I want play, damn it.
I know, facts.
Hey, well, at least we got this news. There's a rumor floating around from The Verge that Xbox is testing a disc-to-digital feature that digitalizes physical games.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No, I don't care. No.
I'm trying to be positive. Like,
no, fuck
game preservation.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that. You want to hear some good news? I heard a rumor. You want to hear the rumor? I heard the rumor that they're talking about let Activision make Halo. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that just was on the timeline before we started.
I heard that. That's a fun rumor I saw. 343, get the fuck out of here, bro. We're done, bro. I don't want to see 343 no more, man. If there's any studio that needs to go first, it's 343. That is one where it's like, look, I empathize with devs, but my boy, you've had four, five, Infinite. Remaster, Master Chief Edition. I had 4 shots, bro. I'm sorry. Anybody with business, bro, I can't give you 4. I can't give you a 5th shot, bro. No way.
I think that pisses me off about 343 Industries. I think people forget when they first came on the scene. A lot of us were excited because if you remember those dev diaries, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're huge fans of Halo. We grew up."
We're all Halo fans.
Okay, yeah, it's going in the hands of fans. This is going to be good. 343 Industries is a great example of just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean you need to work on it. Get the fuck away from Halo, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think like 343 has to be like grandfathered in or something because there's no way they survived for this long and have had
they got
like
something on film,
commercial failures. Yeah, it's something. They got some dirt. Yeah, something going on.
You get rid of us, bro. We exposing everything.
they got some pictures of Phil Spencer and some bondage doing some weird shit or some shit like that.
No, they got footage of Phil playing on PS5.
we'll expose you. He's early footage of him playing Halo on PS5. He had a special build of it back in the day.
Yeah,
he said we've known for years.
Freaking well, since y'all don't care about disc to digital with Xbox rumor, well, what about this? We already talked about, I mentioned it by accident, the strike for Rockstar, but what about this? There's an article floating around, and it comes from Digital Foundry, and everybody else picked it up, that GTA is not expected to run at 60 FPS on any PS5 console, not the base or the PS5 Pro, and they're blaming the fact that the game is going to be so immersive and dense in terms of the city that it should not be expected. And I'm leaning towards, I do think this game is going to be locked at 30 FPS for a couple of reasons. A, history says that it will. I mean, GTA 5 was locked at 30 on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But also, I believe if this game is what they say it is, with it being this open world, immersive world where they're saying that potentially the NPCs are going to have their own jobs and lives like Ubisoft games. If these NPCs are really going to be doing all these things within these cities, that takes a lot of CPU power. And we know these CPUs are already underpowered on these consoles. They tend to be more GPU heavy. I could see it bottlenecking and being locked at 30 FPS. I'm leaning towards I think this is true.
I totally believe it. Yeah, just looking at the history of Rockstar in general is they don't really care about performance like that. Like, for example, Red Dead Redemption is still locked at 30 FPS on PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Because they never updated it.
They never updated it. It's not something that they particularly care about. They put their focus on creating something that is going to look good for years and years and years and years and years, not being a higher FPS performing console. And like people, will bring up that, well, why didn't we care about this 13 years? And I'm like, dude, a lot has changed in 13 years. Like a lot of us have experienced at this point, we very rarely play a game that is under 60 FPS, regardless of genre. A lot of people, the average age of a gamer is 36, right? A lot of us are playing on PC. A lot of us are more discerning. A lot of us care more about this kind of thing now. So yeah, I totally believe it. And I cannot believe you'd be asking me to pay $80 for a digital only game that is 30 FPS and going to give me a headache.
Oh, another reason I think that it's going to be locked at 30 FPS, because they need a reason to sell you that PS6 version, and it's going to be on PS6 60 FPS.
Nuke the whole generation.
Yeah,
nuke the whole generation.
If this comes out on PS5 and PS5 Pro and it's locked at 30 FPS, I think I'm gonna wait for that PC version. Like, I'm good off this. I'm not playing.
Yeah, we said it. We said it loud. It was so much news, like so many conflicting rumors about like this 30 FPS versus 60 FPS stuff. But this one with Digital Foundry, this is the one that has me scared. I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna be. I'm gonna be cooked. I'm not gonna get it. I was trying to give him some bail though. I was trying to shoot him some bail, trying to shoot Rockstar's bail, because I was like, look, all right, they made GTA 5 on the PS3, so we literally had that's 3 generations, but at least they did update it for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X where it could play at 60. So I was like, all right, there may be a possibility, there may be hope, and the fact that Rockstar officially has not made any game for the current gen consoles, because Red Dead was also a last gen game. I was like, maybe there may be a slim possibility that they will be able to, maybe in performance mode, get me 60 FPS or close to it. Because in performance mode, in fidelity mode, no, it's going to be 30 FPS. But
did you know that Rockstar released 2 different types of enhanced versions for GTA, and both of them came out with a bunch of technical issues?
No.
GTA 5 Enhanced, which came out to PC, which is where they tried to enhance it with updated graphics and stuff. When they updated the PS5 version, they updated the PC version. If you don't believe me, you could check the history of I was double checking because it's very paused right now. I was like, wait a minute, this is what I remember. If you go back to when it first dropped, it had a bunch of technical issues and it got a mixed review when it first came out because it bricked a bunch of people's GTA 5 copies on PC because it overrode the original copy of GTA 5 with all these changes, and it broke it. Just like how good old Bethesda, when they did Fallout and they updated it with the updated version, and it broke a bunch of stuff with Fallout. So like GTA is not doing that. And also, do you guys remember when GTA did those remasters of the old ones, like San Andreas?
Yeah.
Remember how that was a monster? That was also
actually, yeah, I do remember that.
Remember that was, and they were doing refunds and stuff because it was broken.
So they're not good at.
Well, that's where somebody's in the comments going to say, "Well, that wasn't developed by Rockstar. It was a third-party developer. It wasn't Rockstar that did that trilogy.
They did the enhanced.
The enhanced one. Okay.
Also, I want to point out, even if Rockstar didn't work on it, don't you think it's kind of crazy that Rockstar would take their golden egg, or basically
and not double check it,
and not double check it, and instead release it in such a state that they didn't think it mattered?
Yeah, that is problematic. I would agree with that.
Yeah, so I'm leaning towards it's about to be a done deal for me. So, like I said, between this and the Union, I think I'm about to be right with Ethos. It's been way too much negative news, and I'm good, bro. Like I said, I might be playing Barbie or Godzilla right with y'all.
Come play Barbie with us. Listen.
Yeah, hey, watch. Send them a link to the cat game.
I'm gonna shout that out at the end of the episode.
Yeah. I have a hard time believing that I'm going to be done with all the games coming out in September by the time November comes out. So I don't even really care.
True.
Exactly. There's so many games.
At the end of the day, I'll have Phantom Blade. Yeah, so that'll hold me over.
I might still be playing Phantom Blade by the time it comes out.
I thought Phantom Blade got delayed.
Y'all don't play games, don't mean that
October 29th. So that's the end of October.
Right. Oh, I thought it was next year, so it's October.
No, it's the end of October. So right before November comes around. So we only got a few weeks in. Yeah.
I wonder how much hate we'll get when GTA 6 comes out, and if none of us play it. Like, I wonder how much.
I don't care. Fuck them.
You guys are fraud gamers.
I don't care.
I know you covered all 40 games that have come out in the last 3 months, but you didn't play this one, so you guys are
not frauds. To mention, none of us picked GTA for our parlay.
We did a truce. Yeah, we did a truce, and it said none of us would pick that up.
None of us gonna use that, so no.
It is what it is.
Listen, if people are excited for it, I don't want you to think that I think you're a bad person.
No, fuck it, I do.
Ethos does. Ethos does.
I think you're a bad person.
There's been a lot of stuff that has really rubbed me the wrong way with GTA, Rockstar.
I'll give you an idea. Watts. It'd be different if it was like Cyberpunk, where it's like kind of no one really saw it coming, and then it hits you like a truck, and you're just like, oh my god, all this bad stuff hits you all at once. But for it to be like, we're months out. We're still months out. Mm-hmm. And it's just this information is hitting us all simultaneously throughout the past year. And you're being hit with, you're being, as an informed consumer, you're being told of all these potentially bad things that do in bad business practices. And for you to just go, la, 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 I think you're a bad person.
That's fair.
I think you're a bad person. I think that you don't care about the industry. I don't think you really truly care about the betterment of just gaming in general. I just think that you are what they say. You are a pig. You like slop. And you're going to eat your slop, and you're going to consume the next product as it comes on. And whatever GTA feeds you, you're going to eat that slop.
I don't know if bad is the word for me, but I would say very selfish.
No, I'm saying bad. You don't think a bad person? You don't think a selfish person is bad?
Nah, because when I think, I would say it's a bad characteristic, but like it's not the only thing. To me, a bad person is somebody who holds multiple bad traits, and it's like that's the type of I wouldn't even want to be around you at all. That's what I would think of as like a bad person.
I would think you're borderline bad if you're like looking at all these. Just take Rockstar out the picture. Take Rockstar out the picture. Everything.
Anybody who's seeing all this and saying, "Okay, I still want to play it," but I'm acknowledging that these things are bad. I'm not referring to those people. I want to make that very distinct. I'm talking about people who see all this and go, "La la la, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I want to play."
Yeah, that is different.
Yeah. Those are people I think I would argue are bad. I'm not saying people who are just like, you're being told this information. You're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it is pretty fucked up. Yeah, you're right. We should be talking about this information. Not those type of people. That's different. That's why that's a different, where it's, I think like your integrity kind of takes a hit. I'm talking about specifically people who just,
I don't care. It's Rockstar's GTA. They can charge me $400. I don't care.
I don't care. It'd be $500. I'm still going.
If my wife having a baby, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it and I'm playing the game.
Those are people I'm talking about.
Fuck my child birth.
I don't care if I hurt your feelings.
Let's see. Positive stuff, at least a couple positive things. I wanted to end it that way. It's not even not super positive. But there's a game that was revealed on the PlayStation page. Watson might like this one called Guns of Eschaton. It is a Souls-like FPS set in a cold, wild west created by the late renowned writer and world builder Victor Anatov, who made Half-Life 2 and Dishonored, as well as the Wolfenstein stories.
He was the art director of Half-Life 2, Dishonored, Prey, Fallout 4, Wolfenstein, New Order. And he passed away. Yeah, he passed away pretty recently. So this is literally like
his baby.
This is his last game that he's doing art direction for.
And how are we feeling about it? Because we know you're a Souls fiend.
I am. Give me the soul slop. I loved it. I loved it. The creations, like the enemies that you're seeing, I think are really cool. I think the world looks really good. They've got this thing going on with a book that is actually, I would say, more inspired from like Monster Hunter. So you're going to come across different enemies and they have different weaknesses and different stuff that they do. And he literally whips out like a physical book, and you fill it out the more of them you come into contact with, and it will tell you stuff about how you can defeat the enemy. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. Hunter's Notes and Monster Hunter, I love them so much. So I love that kind of thing. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you're not even like pausing it and going into a menu. You're whipping out a book as you're fighting and going, oh, right, the scavenger is weak to this specific thing. The builds look really interesting. Like, it just looks like you're going to be able to make some really dope things, because you're going to be able to pick from like passive abilities, custom bullets, talismans, armor, consumables. You're going to have like a bunch of different weapons that you can do. Yeah, it's also co-op if you're interested in co-op. It's going to be a co-op game too. I think it looks great.
I like the art direction. I think for me, what's going to make or break it is how the builds work and how they work together. Because like, I actually really enjoyed Remnant 2, but I also enjoyed the fact that it was third person. I think the first person is kind of like, I want to see some reviews, but like, I'm definitely interested in this game. But it really depends on how flexible they are with the builds. I'm a little worried that it looks, just from the shooting, it looks a little generic to me. I gotta see more, but it looks all right. What about you, Jeff?
That Bungie feel. They don't got that Bungie feel to it.
Bungie need that Bungie feel.
Bungie's got that Bungie. That's not Bungie's problem. Bungie feels the least of Bungie's problems.
I think that just the general art style, it does kind of remind me of like a traditional like bullet hell type game, but this obviously it's a bullet hell. They made it more like a Souls like FPS, which I find to be interesting here. I want to see how that truly pans out. But it looks
you
good.
Got 4 arms and one of them parries.
I see that. I was like, okay, we're just pulling out the extra arms there.
I do like the movement. Looks like Dishonored to me. It reminds me of that.
Very flop.
Yeah. And I was looking at him doing like some teleporting back and forth and left and right. So it definitely looks like an interesting one. I never heard of this when I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, this one's gonna be on my radar. So we'll be waiting on more information about this one, but it looks good so far.
What about you, Ethos?
Yeah, I mean, I put in the signal.
Yeah, I was the one that put you on.
Yeah, I put you on. Yeah, something you don't do.
Hey, that's not the smartest thing you said all podcast. TBH never put nobody on. And then our last piece of positive news is former Call of Duty, the face of Call of Duty, Robert Bowling. He has his own studio. They're working on a game. I think it's supposed to come out next year. Some type of first-person shooter. The name of the studio is 18 Bravo. They revealed an interesting piece of information where they would like for their game to be successful, but in case it ever is not, they are going to release the code open source so anybody can fuck with it, basically, or deal with it. Do we feel like, as a game dev, Ethos, do we feel like this is potentially the future of game development, or just release the files to the wild?
Yes, I guess, but I'm kind of scared of that idea because I'm scared what the internet would do with certain stuff. I think that would be a good like fire to your. I think if a studio shuts down, before they shut down, I would hope somebody on the IT side, low-key, just like uploads the source code for certain game projects that just never will see the light of day, or like Last of Us. If you're not gonna finish it, you might as well just throw it out there and let somebody else finish it, or give it all, hand it off.
If it's 80% done.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I do like this idea of like paying it forward, or just like handing it off to like the next person, where it's like, hey, if my studio gets murdered and I don't have a chance of having this thing, figured out or something like that, and there's an interest, like there's the actual interest of a community that wants to keep it going, then I think it would be a nice parting gift to give it to that community to allow them, the chance to keep it going, which we've seen in the PC space. Like, this is something that PC's always pseudo done, where if a game gets shut down from like, the publisher, you'll see a third party or fans of the game step in who are also, programmers, and they'll see if they can like get the game back up and running. We've seen this. There are a couple games that have been delisted, shut down, servers have been, Anthem's a good example. Anthem got shut down by EA, I think this year or earlier this year or late last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw already on the time, I'm not even joking, like less than a month, I saw people on the timeline already trying to get the like peer-to-peer to work so that the game could keep working. Kind of was like what Stop Killing Games initiative was basically trying to say, was like, hey, if you're going to shut these games down, you should either enable somebody to be able to get them going, or gives people the code or server side stuff so that they can maybe build some sort of peer-to-peer system, or just have that pre-built. So yeah, I mean, it seems like a good I guess thing. Robert Bowling, you know what I will say is about Robert Bowling? I had a lot of hate for you, man. Back in the day, you lied to us, man. You said no last stand.
Remind me of the lie he told.
He said no last stand, and he lied, bro. He said no last stand. It was called final stand, and it was a death streak. So he lied to us, and I held that hate in for a long time, man. But I gotta lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ever since you left AAA and you and Infinity Ward and you were doing your own thing, you've been saying a lot of the right stuff. Especially when you left when you made sure that pedophile, you weren't working with that pedophile anymore. I got to give you props, bro. You stood on business. So, I will be looking forward to your next game. I do. He seems like he is a very a man of morals. So I rocks with Robert Bowling. He's good in my book, big dog.
Yeah, I remember everybody used to hate him, and I just was too lazy to ever look into why. I just didn't
care about Call of Duty
enough.
It was that. It was that one thing.
On stream, just Google Robert Bowling, fuck you, Last Stand. And just watch it. It happened when they announced Modern Warfare 3. It was during their like reveal event thing.
And now look at Call of Duty.
I would say Robert Bowling stayed with a job, man. So shout out to him. He stayed.
I mean, you got a resume like him. You probably, you'll always be able to get an investor to convince you, to give you some money. Yeah. You got like that type of resume. Yeah.
Freaking, that's all I got. So I mean, we can move on to the lightning round. That's the main.
Hold on, there was one thing. There was one more thing that I wanna pop my shit about. Going back to Sony, because when I said, oh, this has to be cap about Sony pulling back on PC, and then we showed the numbers last week. Guess who stepped in? We already talked about Yoshida and his thoughts on Steam. Shout out to Yoshida because
did I forget the Sean one?
Yeah, you forgot about Sean Layden, another man from the old guard. My man also agreed with me. He said he does not agree with the current leadership pulling back on the PC exclusives. He said it makes no sense. So I'm just like, look, if you ain't gotta agree with me. Again, I think I know what I'm talking about sometime. But if you hear a former Sony boss who actually worked for Sony, this ain't no person who just talking from the outside looking in. He actually worked with them. If he's also echoing the same sentiments, then I mean, you still gonna disagree with that? Come on now, this man obviously knows business.
He'll say, "Oh, he just mad because he got fired. He lost his job."
I would say, "Yeah, he a former Sony boss. I'm Sony boss right now because I give him my money."
No, it don't work like that. So yeah, he literally saying the same thing I'm saying. He was like, it was extra money for them to do it. And he also said a very important point, which we talked about multiple times. He said that people on Steam or mainly PC gamers, they're not going to go and get your console. Okay. Mm-hmm. They were never in the ecosystem to begin with. So you releasing those exclusives on Steam and other platforms, this is just something that they've been waiting. They probably weren't thinking about it, but as soon as it comes on the PC platform, they went and bought it. And we've seen this time after time again, broken or not. The people on Steam still went to go play these games. I add
more to that too. And then especially after the news we've had about Sony in the past week with them pulling support for DISCS for the PlayStation 6, you think people who only play on PC are about to buy a PS6 with all the anti-consumer practices they've been revealing?
With nothing on there, nothing for them to hold physically either. They're
like, bro, you motherfuckers are crazy over there.
No games. I don't know why.
Wolverine's not that important.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, man. Like all these Sony ponies and corporate fanboys, like y'all really got to get off that. Like we shouldn't be talking about that stuff anymore. I get from a business standpoint why it still kind of makes sense, but none of you all are making money. I'm not making money off Sony. I'm not making money off Microsoft. We're giving our money to them. So again, something as petty as I feel like Sony is losing money because people aren't buying the hardware to play these games. If you're just going to put them on PC, you're wrong, buddy. Sorry, you're wrong. They weren't going to buy the console anyways.
Maybe that's something we don't know about Sony ponies. Maybe every Sony pony has stock in Sony and we're just unaware of it. They're all just investors. Mm-hmm. That would make more sense why they're angry. They need their money
I don't
back.
know, man.
Lightning round. Shigeru Miyamoto revealed that he wants to bring more characters to the world outside of Nintendo. Translation: the Mario movies making them a lot of money, and it's also introducing people into the ecosystem of Nintendo, because there are a lot of people that didn't grow up with Mario. They're seeing the movies and they're going out and buying a Switch 2 and playing the games available on that. Nintendo has been very resistant to this in the past, but they've seen the money that these movies are making. They're saying, wait a minute, we're going to do more. We know a Zelda movie's coming, but he basically said in an interview they want even more stuff. And it started with the introduction of reintroducing Star Fox. It doesn't clarify in this interview, does he mean new characters, period, new IPs, or just resurrecting old characters into new IPs? But just, for shits and giggles, if they are talking old characters, is there anything y'all would want to see in a movie or a TV show from Nintendo?
Metroid Prime.
The show?
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
It's gotta be animated, no live action,
like a horror style,
yeah, that would
like
be pretty
a first
sick.
person, like maybe type of experience, or third person.
That'd be really cool.
I got one.
Yeah.
F-Zero anime.
Get Trigger Studio to make it. Could be pretty good.
Could be fire.
Maybe they would be just like I think Trigger Beta F-Zero styled. What was it? They made a racing anime. It was really cool. Race Redline, I think it was called. You might like it, TBH.
It reminds you of F-Zero?
Yeah, Redline. That's the name of it. Redline is a high-octane Japanese animated sci-fi racing spectacle set in the distant future where Daredevil driver JP risks everything to complete in the galaxy's most dangerous race.
This does look kind of like F-Zero
animation. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I got one. Arms.
All right, next topic. Nobody even wants to buy Arms video.
Let's get Splatoon. Let's turn that into an anime. Splatoon.
Pikmin.
I could see a Splatoon like kid show working.
You know what'd be good? A kid show of Animal Crossing.
Are they going to speak English?
No, they got to speak that. The minions don't speak English.
This is true. This is true.
Franchise. Yeah,
and they're giving them their own movie, Minions and Monsters. So yeah,
it has to be okay if they do an Animal Crossing show. They speak the gibberish, but it has to be some type of social political commentary on capitalism, bro. And it has to be starring
Nooks
Tom
gets guillotined by the end of the movie.
Like we need an arc about the 2008 housing crisis with Tom Nook. Bro.
Not enough housing on this island.
Be on some Survivor type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Live action Persona series in works at Netflix, reported by Variety. You're a big Persona fan, Ethos. Is this doing it for you?
The fuck no, I'm not. I get attacked. Persona fans hate me. They get mad when I mention I don't want to play a game where I have to play as a high schooler. I'd like to play as a more adult thing, and then they show me Metaphor, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted.
Yeah,
Metaphor is great.
What's more exciting about Persona news is that the Persona 4 revival, all of the cinematics are being animated by MAPPA.
True.
Of Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, like
okay. They're gonna have some per frame, man.
It's the animation's gonna be fire. In
what do you think of the Persona devs? Like when they do these remakes, they're redoing all the voicing, like they're picking brand new people.
They do, yeah.
I think 3 they did that. They picked brand new people.
They changed the music too. They changed a bunch of things.
That's interesting.
Do you like? Where do you stand on that? Was like, do you think like that's a good idea? Or you're like, why not keep both? Or
yeah, I think I personally would keep the voice actors that people have like fallen in love with and really enjoyed through that. I think updating graphics, maybe you'd update like gameplay systems and stuff is fine, but refine things. But I think keeping voice actors, I'd like to see.
What's the reason behind it? Are they just trying to refresh everything, or like the actors' voice? Like, are they too old to do the voices or something? Like
there hasn't really been a public explanation. It's not even like a union thing. I don't think it's not even like money wise. It's just seems to be straight up like Atlas is deciding that because they're remakes and they're new, they wanted to have a fresh, new feeling to it. And I guess for a new generation of people who are going to play for the first time. So they feel like they want to have newer voices do it. I guess that's been the logic. But
I feel like that'll be a little bit problematic,
older
though, right?
Fans to play it. It's like this is actually completely different.
It doesn't change the fact
yeah.
there's a bunch of teeny boppers in high school, and that's why I'll never be interested in it. Like I'm not.
I mean, that's where a lot of people peaked. So
fair.
True.
Is that the conspiracy why they love Persona?
I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna have them attack.
Because you know,
I'm not gonna get attacked on Twitter this week. I will say there's a correlation of people who, they resonate with that, and I'm like, interesting.
Persona fans in chat, yeah, let us know. Or do you agree with the refresh on the voice actors in the OST? Is that
that's what I'm curious
for
about?
you?
I'm curious of someone who's like a hardcore fan of them.
Rumored Metroid Ravenous just leaked for the Switch 2. This is coming from Brazil, where it was rated, and you can see it in the filing for the copyright, the word Metroid Ravenous.
Brazil mentioned.
People are suspecting this is going to be more in the 2D realm, not like Metroid Prime. Do y'all think this would be something that would sell hotcakes for the Switch 2? You just got to switch to
Dread did it.
Dread
did it. Much. Yeah, Dread didn't sell much, I don't think. So
in general, I don't think Nintendo really likes Metroid because it doesn't sell a lot of. It doesn't really sell.
I was about to give a hot take. I was like, can I say that like a lot of my favorite Metroidvania games are not Metroid? Like I just never get it. Metroid. I love Metroid Prime. Besides what they did with 4, but like the series as a whole, I've never been a big fan.
Yeah, I can't say I was the biggest fan either. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those niche games and niche franchises. So.
It is what it is.
I don't know how people feel about it, yeah.
But don't be surprised if they announce it. I'm leaning towards this is probably 90% true because I mean this was registered within a government, so it just leaked on. Onimusha has been confirmed. You guys corrected me last podcast because it was a rumor.
God,
it has been confirmed. They're moving up for
sneaky bastards. Sorry.
They're moving up to from September 25th to the 4th, so you can play it a little bit earlier. And then also in an interview with one of the directors of the game, they were asked about why did they move out? Why did they move up? And they said we can't back out now. So like we're kind of stuck with this issue. It is what it is, man. GTA 6 is what it is.
They had the Capcom spotlight happen. And I was watching it the whole time. Like, okay, surely they're gonna announce the release date change here. And then they didn't. So I was like, okay, I guess it is just a rumor. Damn, I'm gonna have to figure out how to play Control Resonant and Onimusha at the same time. And then randomly they're like, nah, we're just kidding. It's moving to the 4th.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. This, out of all the bad news that we had, this was the one like bright spot that I was like, thank you, Capcom. Like from the bottom of my heart, I can't tell you how happy I am.
Collector's edition.
I said I gotta get it now. I gotta get it now, especially after all this news. I just have to. So yeah, I'll be copping it for sure. So yeah, so this will be kicking on my September with a bang. So yeah, I'm
very
super
happy about it. I'm selfishly happy about it because of Control Resonant, but I do feel really bad for the Blood of Dawnwalker developers because this is a brand new studio with a brand new IP, and they've had this release date for a while, and now they're right there with Onimusha. Where before I was like. Now that Phantom Blade Zero moved, I was like, oh, maybe I could check out Blood of Dawnwalker, actually.
Yeah, both of those. Like if any of them wouldn't have moved, I don't know. It still would have been a little bit difficult for me because I want to play them all. But if one moved and the other one stayed, like if Phantom Blade would have stayed and Onimusha would have moved, I still would have been sad. I was like, man, what the fuck? Like it doesn't really help me that much. So I feel like I said would have been in a bad position, but I'm glad that both of them did decide to move. But yeah, Blood of Dawnwalker I was actually kind of interested in it. So but I gotta dedicate my time to Onimusha and play as much as I can before Wolverine comes out. So
we gonna be on that. I didn't put it on the notes, but I just remembered. This past week was the Avatar beta. If you pre-ordered the game, did anybody get to play the beta for Avatar Legends? The fighting.
I did not.
You watch who play Ethos?
Steve.
What'd you think?
He said the PS5 version is ass. He said played on PC. Apparently, the PS5 version when he was playing it, he was having a lot of like issues. Like there was like network and like something about the networking issue was happening, and he was like, surely there's got to be any like optimization issues, and he apparently said there was like frames dropping and there was like a lag behind or something when he was playing it. So he's been playing it on PC.
Damn,
it is a $30 game. Yeah, I refused to pre-order, so I just don't pre-order. Period. I didn't want to do that.
I was seeing some tweets come around, and the FGC was getting in the uproar because someone went viral. They showed a clip of them getting worked by somebody, and it was like, I got 2 matches, but this person decided to go ultra instinct, get just worked me in. And then somebody was like, see, this is why don't nobody want to play these fighting games because this is a beta, and y'all got people over there just working y'all in matchmaking, man, because they just so good, and the casuals don't want to play. And then somebody was like, man, y'all niggas is lazy. That was like, man, just get good. I was like, man, I ain't gonna do it. That, man.
Steve was like, bro, he's playing Azula. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, man, all these Zuko's are pretty much ass. I don't think he's a good character. And then I shit you not. Once he said that, the next match was a Zuko player and just belt to ass him the entire time. And he was like, whoa. He's like, oh, this motherfucker knows what he's doing. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you'll run into those demons who are just like,
it gets to a point though. Crazy. When you run into a demon, like even when I get my ass beat, it's like I still take damage off their health bar. Those clips where you see somebody just get perfect, like to me, that's an actual legit skill issue. Like it has more to do with this. They're better than you. Like you literally just don't understand the game, and that's why I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Like you do need to get good to like a certain degree, and people don't want to do that shit, bro.
Yeah, there was some people bringing up a good point because there were some people that were also comparing the FGC games to like a Marvel Rivals or Valorant, like any other type of competitive game, and they were like, well, at least in those games you get to play. Like they say Call of Duty too. They were like, at least you get to play. Like you get to shoot your gun, you get to run around, even if you get worked. Like if you don't get any kills at all, like at least you got to play the game. They were like, in a fighting game, you could literally like from start to finish, you could just get worked and not even get a chance. And I was like, that's a good point. But still, like,
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's a good, but I don't fully agree with it. I do agree with the sentiment that, you can still play in these other games. But again, like to your point, like you do have to at some point understand what you're doing wrong if you get perfect, like especially in a game like Avatar or Token or, any of those type of games where it's just super fast paced. You got to at least understand the mechanics, because I don't think if you were halfway decent that you would get perfect like that unless someone was just light years ahead of you in terms of skill. But you have to have some sort of skill and understanding.
Yeah, I feel like with fighting games, too many people focus on just doing combos, not understanding there's so much depth to fighting games outside of trying to pull off a cool combo. Like the average person doesn't even understand the concept of footsies, or even with Invincible, you saw people complaining like, yo, how do I block? And that's why I said, I don't know. I think it is a good. I think it is a good because like on the flip side, I think a lot of people don't understand. There a lot of if it's a good fighting game, unlike Tekken 8, usually they're
okay. Come on, bro. What was that for?
Or Invincible. If it's a good fighting game, there are strong defensive mechanics, just like there are strong offensive mechanics. And if they do the tutorial, I feel like a lot of people, from what I see, they'll do the offensive tutorials. It's just like combo trials, but they don't learn how to do a push block or whatever type of counter or parry that you can do in the game. So yeah, your ass get trapped in the corner, and then you getting your ass beat, and you be talking about this game too hard. I mean, like, I don't think you bothered to learn how to play the game because you couldn't get, even if the person was better than you couldn't get one hit on them in one round. That's a skill issue, dog.
Yeah, I know that there are some games that are like super technical, like they just have way too many mechanics for like the casual to bother to learn, but they're still there. And if you still don't even take the time to go into training or practice and learn some of these mechanics and at least get them down pack, I'm not saying you got to be a super expert day one, but if you don't even try to learn some of these mechanics, then yeah, you kind of deserve to have BTA every time you get it to matchmaking. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, when I get on a fighting game, I know I'm gonna get my ass beat sometimes, and I'm cool with it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of all this negative news about a lack of ownership, you know who is gonna allow us to own their game? Halo Combat Evolved or Campaign Evolved will have a physical version. They announced. Who wants to own that?
Is also on PlayStation.
PlayStation
Owning the physical PlayStation of Halo might actually be an idea.
That's actually a fair point. Depending on how many are printed.
Exclusive, and they're getting rid of physical. So
what if you show somebody who's like just played Halo 1 through 3 and then just stopped playing games at all, and then just did not read any news, they just completely went off grid, and you just get this PS5 version and you show them and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Imagine somebody in a coma wakes up. Hey, you want to play the new Halo?
Am I in the right timeline?
PS5, but this was an Xbox exclusive.
Or Xbox.
I caused him to go right back into a coma.
Xbox collapses tomorrow, so the only way to play it is PlayStation on that disc.
Oh,
yeah, that's a crazy world.
Exactly, man. I feel like, man, everybody's going to do this. We're literally going to see this for the next 2 years, and we're probably going to see this afterwards too. Everybody's going to get asked, "Are you coming out with a physical disc?" And every company's going to answer,
"Yes."
You better.
Like, yeah, we are.
We're in the end of days. And then a new Sonic anime was announced called Sonic the Hedgehog: Memories and Beyond. It was announced at Anime Expo for his 31st anniversary. This little preview right here I got on the screen. It looks really good for all the Sonic fans, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This kind of look lit, man. Out of all the Sonic cartoons and anime I've seen, this one kind of look like this is it.
Sonic fans are having a bit of a renaissance. It's just not the games, but everything outside of it is good.
I was gonna say anime has been going crazy. Like I don't know if y'all have seen the stuff they've announced at Expo, but I'm not gonna lie, I almost bust like multiple times.
Nirvana is doing the opening for an anime coming out this year.
Nirvana's doing an anime opening, and then I almost had a heart attack.
Rico Nasty did
Rico Nasty. It's a cyberpunk song.
Yeah, that's
she's
fire, bro.
She's in the cyberpunk. I'm like, what the? And then I wake up and I find out Yoko Taro is making Evangelion. I said, whoa, this is
anime
insane.
has gone mainstream. Have you seen the lines for Anime Expo like on social media?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, like I'm just.
I heard the smell is too.
Wow. I don't think you're getting Black Clover though, but
What are you talking about? They just dropped a new trailer. I retweeted it. Fuck up, bro. That's Goat Clover.
You can have your slop, man. That's all you, bro.
You ain't watched it. Everybody who hates Black Clover because they ain't probably watched it.
You're right, and I don't plan on watching it either.
At least you admitted to it though.
I admit it. I ain't gonna watch that shit, man. I ain't gonna watch that shit. You gonna watch Cyberpunk?
I might when I get bored. The Edge Runners joint. I never said I wouldn't. You know what I will say before we wrap this shit up? I have a conspiracy theory that I think a lot of the reviews on the Crunchyroll app. Y'all got Crunchyroll?
Yes.
No.
I watched it today. I was on Crunchyroll.
I think a lot of the reviews on Crunchyroll are fake, man, because
they're real. No, they're real.
Okay, so because I'm a casual anime fan, and I'll just pull up the app maybe like once a week, once every other week, just look for something to watch. And I'm gonna be honest, I'd say like 80 to 90% of the shows on that app are fucking basura. Like it's so like there was some show I watched last week called The Time I Got Trapped Inside of a Video Game Dating Sim or some shit.
Don't watch Ultimate Games and don't watch Isekai. Jesus Christ, you guys stay away.
Don't watch Isekais and don't watch anything. If the title gets more than 5 words, don't.
I'm a villainess.
Hold on. There was a witch one. There was a witch one I watched too. I forgot the name of it. It had like 5 stars.
Witch Hat Italia?
Yeah, was that Talia?
No.
I'm about to say that one was
it Journal with Witch?
No. Was it Witch?
But I'll describe it. I don't remember the name of it, but I watched the whole season and I got through the end and I was like, why do I feel like I've seen this before? Then I was like, wait a minute, this is just bootleg fucking Black Clover, bro. It's like a school of kids and they have like magic abilities and they fight through dungeons and shit like that. I was like, it's okay, but it's a lot of like 6 or 7 out of 10s on that app. But then
wrong.
You're watching the wrong stuff. You do not.
Okay, Gacha Coochie was lit. Gacha Coochie was lit.
Gacha Coochie.
That shit's called Gacha Coochie. That show was lit. But the problem is a lot of these shows are rated 4.5 to 5. And like I'm going off you guys.
Anime fans are notoriously bad at giving recommendations. I promise you.
I've come to conclude they like everything.
They like anything that's mainstream and anything that's just straightforward. They'll love it. It's like watching it's like I don't even know how to compare. So I don't know if maybe TV's comparison.
They're trend hoppers,
it's like Marvel. Anime fans are like Marvel, MCU, like the movie watchers that only watch MCU movies. That's all they watch. They don't watch any other movies. Exactly. They only watch MCU. That's how they rate a lot of stuff. It got worse. I don't know if you know what MAL is, My Anime List. It got worse because they got beef on it. It's gangs on that website. So they got a rating system too. And the Full Metal Alchemist gang, they make sure that is the #1 anime. And if you have any other anime bypass that anime, they will get on that forum and beat the shit out of that anime until My Hero goes up to being Full Metal Alchemist goes back to being #1. Because a couple of anime have done it, and they're just like, oh hell no, and they get on and they just start downvoting. Like it's bad.
I remember you
need to find somebody. You need to find friends. Like ask Watts. You could ask me. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta start giving.
This was a good time for me to talk about one that launched yesterday. It's by the same studio that did Dandadan, Science Saru, who are one of my favorite studios right now. It's called Jadugar, A Witch in Mongolia. And this one this is a special show. So it's set in 13th century Persia during the rise of the Mongol Empire when Genghis Khan was doing his thing.
Impregnating half the earth.
What's the English of it?
That's what it's called. Oh, you can look up A Witch in Mongolia.
Oh, Tanya Saga of the Evil season 2 about to come. That's gonna be fire.
Yeah, that's been
that
like 8 years.
Have you watched what's the name of that? Apothecary
Diaries?
Yes,
banging.
You like that? Yes, banging. Okay, you want on the same wavelength. Thank God.
Oh, I found it. It's got 4.8 stars on Crunchyroll. It's called Wisteria Wand and Sword. Y'all heard of that one?
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
That shit is mid. It's like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I would say it's okay. It had decent animation. It's one of the better like I'm in magic school shows, but
the animation's okay. But 180,000 reviews at 4.8. What the fuck were y'all watching, bro?
Have you seen the new Ghost in the Shell? Have you seen that trailer?
It's coming out.
It's coming out. On
I need to look at what else came out.
That Ghost in the Shell. You need to look at some of those anime stuff that's coming out.
I have to push my agenda for this the Mongolia show more.
Go for it.
It follows basically a girl that ended up being a slave to the rival power of the Mongol Empire, and it's set throughout the Islamic Golden Age and Mongol Empire. Like, this is a very rare time that we are getting something set in this kind of period. They've been really, really careful to be super historically accurate. They have Mongolian being spoken in the show. One of the voice actors speaks Mongolian and Japanese. This is a special show. Check it out.
This is like an action, or is like historical? Historical type of show. Okay,
historical.
I know we're talking about anime, but I just got to show this on the screen real quick. I'm like just scrolling on Twitter, and like it got community noted on July 1st, and it says Sony neither has the customer support or account security to support a digital ecosystem. Like that's wild to write that under. I mean, they're not wrong, because what happens if they do get lizard squatted again, bro?
You know what's funny is I've seen like a bunch of sentiment on Twitter that like, because they're having a blackout right now. Like, you might notice PlayStation has not tweeted anything since this announcement.
Oh yeah, they're waiting for.
So they're like, for the health of their social team, they're probably like, just stay off. We're not gonna do nothing. We're just gonna see if we can bypass it.
We forget, bitch.
Everyone's like, come outside, bitch. we still gonna beat your ass when you tweet again. So it's like, you didn't bring it up, but I was gonna say here is that it is officially that the announcement that PlayStation has done about digital has had more views and like interaction than the GTA 6 announcement trailer on Twitter.
So like that's people are pissed.
People are pissed, and I think like this is not something I think Sony's just gonna be able to sweep under the rug, or maybe they're hoping, once GTA comes out or we get a good game that drops, maybe people will forget. I think people are gonna be like, they're gonna hold this the way that they were cooking Xbox. I think they're gonna cook Sony that like for their next generation for this. Fingers crossed. Let's hope. But people are mad. I think this might actually be we'll see if people are going to put their money where their mouth is. But I don't think this is like people are just being fake outraged. I think this is like a genuine, like, we are mad. We are really mad at you. So they might they might have to walk something back.
Facts,
compromise.
Facts. That's all I got on the show notes. You might got anything else they want to add before we wrap this one up?
Support Barbie Rewind.
Yeah.
Support your local indie devs who are coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is K-pop Rising Dream to Shine. I'm playing that too.
I'm gonna fuck around and buy Barbie Rewind and stream that the day GTA come out.
I bet you get more views than GTA. I bet you people are like, what the hell?
Because why you ain't playing GTA? Because fuck
what you doing, bro?
the ultimate rage bait. Just sit there and like have like laughing, enjoying yourself. Like
you title it playing the best game in November.
Playing the real game of the year.
You know what that reminded me of? Years ago. I can't believe my brain just remembered this. Years ago, you remember when Metal Gear 5 came out?
Yeah.
Do you remember the game that also came out the same day that game came out?
No, what game came out?
No.
Mad Max came out. And I remember I played Mad Max over Metal Gear, and I said how much I love. And remind you, Mad Max was actually a really fun game. It's
wasn't bad.
Now people really like it. And I remember when I playing it, so many people were mad at me that they're like, why did you not play Metal Gear's the biggest game coming out? Why are you playing Mad Max? So I was like, I like cars, I like desert. And it pissed people off, bro. I made a whole video. The Metal Gear fans were so mad at me, bro. It was so worth it. It was a fun time. So yeah, do the Barbie.
I might.
Oh wait, what? You forgot to shout out the cat game.
Okay, I'm gonna put you guys on a cat game. It's coming out this week, baby. It's called Cat Mail Co. You are basically you get to USPS cat mailroom management with your friends.
Why do you know about this?
She put me onto it.
Man, she loves cats. Come on.
I watched the trailer. I was like, you know what? That looks delightful. And then I saw that it's
over this shit. You can play GTA 6, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'd rather deliver packages than play GTA 6.
We're going to be putting delightful, whimsical stickers on packages as cats and mailing them out.
Bullshit. Oh my God, console. If you like it, we love it. None of my business.
Like hey, that's what I say.
I'm on Barbie. Freaking that's it. We can wrap this one up. You yapping already. Watch, you got the floor. What's your closing statement for Game Illuminati episode 197?
My closing statement is to please just support what you are happy with, what you're comfortable with. Support companies that respect your time, respect your dollar. I understand being excited about something. You know what? You can be excited about something and also call it out for doing bad things. You can do both.
True.
That is all.
Okay. JG, closing statement for episode 197. Go.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody for listening like always. So last week I did my first pack opening, TCG. We got the Marvel collection. And I'm proud to say I'm not gonna show where I got it in the case right now, but I did hit my very first pack. I got a Bruce Banner borderless, so I already doubled up. Yeah, I do. I already doubled up my pack. So we good, man. We good in the hood. So so that felt good, man. I get it, man. The dopamine hit, Ethos was right.
Real life loot box.
when you hit it, it does feel good. So I definitely want to continue this. I see the demand. I see why people are so
it's a little
excited
different
about
though.
Some of these things.
The dopamine because you could actually sell it if you wanted to. Versus
hold on, sorry. You physically own it.
Yeah, I know it's different.
It's in my hands. So yeah. So I love it, man. So yeah, I'm definitely going to I'm gonna go all in on the TCG and card collecting. So it's fun though. It's fun. I see why everybody likes it. So
cool. Ethos closing statement, episode 197, guys.
I'll give a shout outs to a big corporation that's fucked up in the past, but I will give them credit on this. I did not know this, but shout out to CD Projekt. For Cyberpunk's on sale right now for $17, $18. So if you want to support someone who actually is going to be made a product that actually you do own, I did not know this about Cyberpunk, but apparently even if you buy it on Steam, there's no DRM on it. So you can actually play it without Steam. You can actually rip the file off of it and put it wherever you want and still play it. I was not aware of this. I thought there was some sort of DRM layer, but no, there's none on Cyberpunk. And I think it's even Witcher. I think all of CD Projekt's games. But more specifically, outside of that, if you do want to support, like even in the digital side, GOG, I think now is more important than ever is to support GOG where we can. If you can buy a game off of GOG, try to do it. Doesn't have to be a CD Projekt game, but any of those games, they are at the forefront of also game preservation. So they're also trying to find old PC games that basically have like the companies have died and they're gone and the source code's like gone and they haven't been updated for modern hardware, so they're unplayable. So they're trying to find the old developers who might have the old codes hiding on some old PC in a basement somewhere, and they've actually brought back a couple of games back from the dead. So just give a shout out to them. Try to if you want to support if you put your money where your mouth is, try to support. If we move even in a digital age, how you can still support the preservation of games. I think GOG is a very good example. We do not want that type of storefront to disappear.
When a game is coming out, check if it's on GOG first.
Yep,
easy peasy.
And they give better cuts on the games too.
They're really good for indie games, like ton of indie games on there.
Yeah.
Cool. And since JG's on this on the wave of the TCG in the spirit of card games, my closing statement is going to be, for those unaware, a card shop in Oregon suspended a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament because you guys smell like fucking button onions. You guys stink.
You want to hear something funny? Shout out to Dolph. When I shared that story with one of the group, he lives in Oregon. He said, "Oh my God, I actually know where that is." I said, "Dog, you have to go. You have to find out." He sent a picture a week ago. I'll put it in the signal. He actually went there.
Did you see the green aura, the stench?
He went in there and he said, "Oh my God." He said he sent me a message and he said, look, there's an aroma in the air and it's not a good kind. And I said, look at this actual on the ground journalism. And he said, I just remember this is the same shot that had a musty smell to it when I went to it earlier this year. I thought it was a different one and I thought it was a ventilation issue and just a bad air issue. But no, now we know it was always the players.
Oh, man.
Yu-Gi-Oh players, Smash Bros players.
It's so easy. You just need to take a shower and use deodorant. Like
Yu-Gi-Oh
the vast, there's some people where that's not going to be enough, but the vast majority of people, that is enough. It's all you
like. It's 2026. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how do you as a person just not like? How do you just go out of the house and like you just don't feel like filled? Like you physically don't feel good. Do you just not feel it at all? Like it's just you just so used to it. They
probably don't feel it because they're used to it.
JG, we have people who are literally going on podcasts and exposing themselves and saying they don't take showers.
This is true.
Why are we shocked?
Oh no, why girls don't like
these are not even card gamers. These are just regular mom midwives and stuff talking about something.
They don't take showers every day. They're saying it's bad for you.
Modern woman. No, you need a modern shower. That's what you need.
Modern shower.
Freaking yeah. So shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh community for once again stinking up the place. I don't know what it is specifically about this game because that one tournament I went to for Magic, it didn't. I was genuinely surprised it didn't smell that bad. I was like, they were a little socially awkward. But I can work with that. He's not wrong. But whatever. It is what it is. I can work with that. They were really nice and welcoming. But it was something about these Yu-Gi-Oh players, something about this game that makes people not want to wash their ass. It is what it is, though. If you made it to this part of the episode, if you made it this far, leave a comment on the YouTube version at youtube.com/GI updates. Hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh players. Yu-Gi-Oh players stink. Hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh players stink.
Yeah.
Other than that, we appreciate everybody. Wait, no, I gotta do the rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. Hit the like button and the hype button so we can move up on them hype charts. Matter of fact, we were number 45 last week, so y'all went crazy. We had like over 500,000 points. Let's see if we can get top 30. Keep hitting the hype button. Use all 3 hypes. I don't know if y'all are aware of that too. You don't have to use one if you haven't used them because you only get 3 for a week. Use all 3 on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Hit the hype button, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the Game and Illuminati podcast. Hopefully, there will not be a bloodbath for Microsoft next week. I'm tired of negative news. Peace.